Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on
Hey, can we refire that? Uh-oh.
Well, I didn't realize it was on that one.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Good morning. We were talking over there before I get my coffee. We were talking to Cody.
Yeah.
Screw you guys.
We've all of a sudden become a coffee station in here.
So Tom, as we explained yesterday,
Irish Tom
is in Ireland.
Oh, that's a stiff drink.
Irelanding.
Yeah.
Irelanding.
He'll never make it back.
How many times has it been for him?
I don't know. Has he been there a few times?
I want to say like once a year.
Oh, wow.
No, that's Washington.
Yeah,
That's
same
gross.
thing. So yeah, he, he's going to come back and be like, yeah, man, I just sign an orange.
Yeah, autographed it.
Look at that. A Jason Ross autographed orange.
One of one.
And I think what would be great, that should be a gift. That would be a great giveaway. If we attach it to something else, but you win tickets to go see the monster trucks and an autographed Jason Ross orange. Why not? We can just have like bags of oranges in here, like baseballs that you're signing every day. So Tom, Tom's going to come back and be like, all I want to do is go over there and I want to take people out fishing and drink beer. All that.
Yeah.
Ireland's like a perfect place for Tom.
Like I said, I don't think he'll come back.
Yeah. Well, if he doesn't, good knowing you, Tom.
Yeah, we know you like your sports.
So, yeah. So speaking of that, so Tom is the one that makes the station coffee, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's gone. So Pat of Pat and Tom, his new bit now starting yesterday, because I told him I don't know. It would be easy to learn. I've just never made coffee here before.
You literally just press a button.
But don't you have to load grounds in and stuff?
You put the grounds in and you press a button.
Too much.
And I fully acknowledge that I would literally need to watch somebody do it one time and I'll know how to do it.
And we're sure your daughter.
I think I could explain it to you.
You think
without
me seeing it?
Yes.
So even that, which I've never gotten. So I just mentioned that and Pat made the pot of coffee, because then does it brew right into this big thermos?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then there you go.
There's like a button on top and you lift it back.
You lift it up. And so now Pat every day is now bringing the thermos in here instead of out in the hallway. And so we're just going to keep it here. And Cody was in here filling her coffee up. And so anybody who wants coffee, just don't worry for on there. Just come in.
Chris, you have this coffee, don't you?
What's that?
Don't you drink this coffee?
I gave up coffee last year.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What do you substitute, or do you?
I don't.
So both of you guys are caffeineless.
Yeah. Well, not caffeineless.
Or you like energy drinking? Or?
No, like a diet soda, like
at
night or whatever, but not.
I mean, like in the morning.
Oh, nothing in the morning.
Wow. Yeah, I'm completely caffeineless the rest of the day. I do it in the morning. I stopped drinking caffeine for a long time because it would make my heart skip. Like literally, I'd just be like,
That's not good.
Good done.
That was like a song.
Yeah, it just totally random. Yes, exactly. And then Vanilla Ice stole it. And so I was actually wrong song because under pressure. Anyways, I finally went in. This was, I don't know, when I started drinking coffee again, maybe 4 years ago. I finally went to the doctor. I was like, "What? Am I dying here? Like, what's going on?" I guess apparently some people just have a random. They were like I asked them 50 times. They're like, there's like literally nothing wrong. It's not leading to something like, I'm like, that's not normal,
That's
right?
Scary.
Tell me about it. It used to freak me out because just every once in a while, randomly, my heart would skip, and it doesn't hurt or anything. You you can feel that it's almost like you want to cough. Like you can feel this void when it skips. And I went in and they did a bunch of blood work. I ran on they do this thing. This is the worst, man. They make you run full speed on a treadmill for 60 seconds.
Like a stress test, right?
Yes. And then you immediately jump off the treadmill, jump onto the bed on your side, and you have to hold your breath as long as you can. After you've just run full speed on a treadmill, you have to hold your breath while they monitor everything. So yeah, it's a total. And so
this seems like a cash grab.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. So I did all that, and yeah, they're like, your heart is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong. Just some people have that.
Just stops every couple of seconds.
It just stops. It just skips beats. And I guess there's different. And I don't know which ones they are, but it's like tachycardia versus some thinger-dinger, and one's the bad one, and the other one's but it's just random. It's just electrodes and blah blah blah. So then I stopped stressing out about it. I was like, oh, okay, welcome back, coffee.
Let's have coffee.
Yes. Although I am beginning to circle. It's the new year. I don't ever do it during the new year rush, but I can feel I know it's coming. I can feel the inevitable. I'm about to go on a health kick thing. I don't know when it's coming. I'm probably going to try to quit smoking again.
What does this mean?
Quit smoking, eat better, work out. It's really lame and embarrassing that I have 2 pieces of really good equipment in my garage that, as I worried about, much like the Yonanas, thing, they're just sitting there and they're doing nothing. And on top of that, each one has a monthly fee in order to be connected to the service. And instead of being smart and just canceling that until I use it again, it's like the thought is like, I don't want to do that because I might use it this month. And then like a year rolls by and you're like, okay, that was a giant waste of money for absolutely nothing for this crap that's basically like currently right now has some of Avery's old dresses and is surrounded by like cans of corn, on the floor from Sam's Club. Like, so, but then all of that I think it would be awesome to work out and have a real awesome muscular body and not smoke and eat healthier, but also doesn't sound like a lot of fun. It's never fun.
Working out would be so much easier if it wasn't so hard.
That's what I'm saying, man.
And what sucks is that the further you get away from it, the harder it gets, but it never gets easy.
That's what I'm right. Exactly. I understand the whole starting out, like you're going to be super sore. You're going to suck at it. And then, you just kind of build into whatever. And I mean, we've had this conversation before. I think I compared it to like getting my hair cut. Like I always wanted to grow my hair long, but I could never get it past this part because it gets itchy and lame. It's like the same thing with working out. Kind of like I see all these people and they're like addicted to working out. Like, man, this is where I let all my stress out. Oh, if I can't get a workout in, I kind of freak out like that. And, and they're like nice and cut. And I have this whole wardrobe of clothes that I have that I just can't. I'm like,
Your cut clothes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, right. Okay. But then you get into the actual process of it. And I got to be honest, man, I've gone through the phase a bunch. When you're younger, you play sports. You don't need to worry about any of that crap.
Just kind of happens every day.
It just happens. But then as you get older, it's like, okay, you got to do the extra things. But then it's like, I sit here and I try to talk myself. I'm like, are you too old? Are you too old? Like at this point, are you just going to be like long, stringy, muscle old guy with like flappy skin down here? Like, I don't want to do that. And of course, the answer is no. No, you're not. You're not too old. But then I don't know if it's possible for me to ever be that guy that's like, oh, I gotta get a workout.
So why do you feel like there's a kick coming?
I can just feel that like I am way too fat and unhealthy right now. Like I just feel it. Like just come on, you gotta quit being a fatty. You gotta quit being a fatty because I feel like I'm at this stage right now where like I'm fat, but I'm not fat. But I could get fat, and I don't want to get fat. Like, no offense to fat people, by the way. I'm not trying to like, dude, I don't want anybody who's got a weight problem being like, let's, no, me personally, I would rather have a nicely toned body. I mean, not everybody, I don't have to be Damian Barling, I mean,
Right.
Christ, but like, something in the middle.
Yeah.
But it's just, why can't,
You want to look like Usher when your shirt's off.
okay, am I the only one that thought Usher had boobs? Or was he just really cut?
Those
But
were like pecs. Those weren't.
But no, they
thought he had,
didn't
like,
look
boobs,
boob.
man
Yeah,
boobs?
like
I
they
didn't
weren't
think so.
droopy, but they were kind of weird. No, okay, here. No, and maybe it's just me. Remember the actor?
I think so.
Okay, you think it's just me? Oh no, and it might have been. But like when he first took his shirt off, remember the actor Marty Feldman?
Yes.
Okay, so that's kind of that's like what it looked like to me.
The one with the eyes.
The one with the eyes, right? With the and
All right, I don't know what you guys are.
you
talking
know,
about.
okay,
It's probably better.
it's
that
probably
you know.
better that you know. And then
I don't know what you mean by this.
well, it just looked. They looked, like a weird direction at first, but then I was like, that might be the lighting. And then I'm like, are these like cut pecs? They gotta be. I mean,
Look
he's
like
in
it.
wonderful shape. Or is there like some older man underneath that too?
I
What
love
is Usher,
Dave.
40
Oh,
something?
hey guys, no body shaming whatsoever. But Usher's boobs were weird.
Dude, here's Marty Feldman. I would kill to have Usher's body. Please don't get me wrong. But
We'll pull up his picture.
I just
Not Marty Feldman. Usher.
Usher shirtless Super Bowl.
That's probably been looked at a few
A
times.
couple of times. Okay, here. Let's see. Well, all these his arms are up, so of course they're gonna look. Here we go. I can't believe we're breaking down Usher's breasts.
I'm sure.
No, you're right. You're right. No, that's cut here. Let me find a good one here. Hi, everybody. You can't see what we're doing here. I'm trying to find one that would like support what I'm saying and having an issue doing that. Yeah, he's pretty. I think maybe in the moment I was like, yeah,
You wanted him to not be cut.
I want him to have a little bit of a, whatever. I mean, kind like right there. Yeah,
He looks amazing.
he does.
Yeah.
How old is Usher, anyways?
Celebrity birthdays
40 something?
47.
Oh, I would say 40. He's probably close to 50, 49.
Yeah. Let's
look it up. What's your guess?
I'm gonna say he's
We have-
47.
Oh, 2 47s and a 49.
247. Oh, of course he's gonna be 48.
Exactly.
Of course he is.
Oh, we all overshot it. 45.
45. But you know what? There you go. That just goes to show you that you can have a nice cut body in your mid 40s.
Yes.
Although, do you have to be one of those people that's had a cut body your whole life?
I think it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it also helps to have a dietitian, a
Right.
personal trainer,
Sing and dance and move every day.
a chef.
I'm sure these exist, but like also, I would just like to find an afford. What I need, I just need somebody to come over and be like, do the thing.
Oh, you mean like a trainer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
They
I don't
exist.
want. Yeah. I know. All right, or the best
Eat the
one,
food.
right? Or the best one is
Subscribe.
when you have like the group of friends that all work out together. We've talked about this before. Like that's the best when everyone's just meeting to shoot the BS and whatever. And it's
Yeah.
like, you can do it. Like, oh, you maxed out, bro. Then we all high five. You just getting cutter more quicker.
Yeah.
more cut.
That's it.
That's what we need. We need this. We need a Sactown Sports workout gang.
I'm sure the show texters will be supportive and helpful.
Oh, they will.
And YouTubers.
Absolutely. From the 530, our first text. Of course, Dave smokes. Ha ha ha. And he calls other people losers. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not. I think he's saying that if you smoke, you're a loser. How dare you? And it's like, well, no, I'm including myself in that. I'm the biggest loser of all. But hey, you know what? At least I'm aware of it. First step is acknowledging the fact.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. Quitting smoking is the toughest one.
I would say you don't do it that much anymore.
I don't, not as much as I used to, but it's still like I don't lay hands on my kids, but I still say to this day, I feel like I would just beat the holy hell out of them if I ever found out that they tried. That's my biggest fear. They're getting old enough now to where, that's the one thing, man. Like you can't do it. You can't do it, kid. It is the absolute worst drug addiction I've ever. Well, I don't know. I've never been addicted to other drugs, but it's really lame. So today's message: don't smoke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get cut.
Don't smoke and get cut like Usher.
Yes.
Yes. All right. We'll take a break. We got a big show for you. Frankie Cartelli at 8 a.m. Matt Barrows at 9. Sean Salisbury at 8:13 as we post-mort the Super Bowl. We got a Kings game tonight. They're in Phoenix and a bunch of other stuff. So sit back, relax. We will lead everything off next. Oh, you maxed out, bro.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
And here's Purdy going to throw one deep, wide for Debo. Made the catch on the back shoulder. Touchdown! San Francisco!
And a back shoulder banger for Debo Samuel.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with 0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
0 down with approved credit.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Everybody waiting to see how this plays out. Clock stumbles. Inbounds pass goes to Monk. He fires for 3. It's no good. And the Phoenix Suns have stunned the Sacramento Kings. Absolute heartbreak for the second time in 2 days for the Sacramento Kings on this road trip. They lost in OT on a buzzer beater by Damian Lillard on Sunday in Wisconsin. And tonight, a 20-plus point lead in the fourth quarter was not good enough. Over the last 8 minutes and 22 seconds, the Kings were outscored 32-8. They lose it 119-117.
It became the first team, I believe, in 1,245 games to blow a lead that late, that big.
32-8 to close. I remember it being bad, but yikes.
Yikes-a-roni.
Yeah.
Didn't like that one. And back down to Phoenix.
Yes.
Who are they coming off the loss to the Warriors?
They are.
Yeah.
It's the last time they played.
I'll be angry pants. Kings coming off their loss to Oklahoma City. So there you go. Kings at Phoenix tonight. And hey, there are some ramifications from this game. You know, look, we're not like down the stretch or anything here, but we can standings watch. And
yeah.
Right now, the Kings a half game back of Phoenix. They are now a full game back from the suddenly hot again Pelicans in that middle stretch. They're also tied with the Dallas Mavericks, who are, by the way, the hottest team in basketball right now, having won 5 in a row and 7 of 10. Well, Cleveland's the hottest team in basketball, but Cleveland finally lost.
Mm-hmm.
And oh boy, did you see what Minnesota has been doing?
Yes. That was an impressive win in LA.
Yeah, we actually have some numbers on that. It's a historic pair of wins for the Minnesota Timberwolves, who now have a game lead on the Thunder and a game and a half on the Clippers and Nuggets. And of course, speaking of the Nuggets, you've got tonight's game and then right on over to Denver for the second night of a back-to-back. A lot to talk about later, but let me ask you this. Let's say you're Mike Brown. Let's say Phoenix is just hammering you, right? Like halftime, they're up 18. Middle of third quarter, you're in the mid-20s. Are you are you in your brain maybe starting at halftime? Of course, you wouldn't verbalize this, but are you thinking, I might have a really early white flag?
I think I think it enters your mind, but I don't think he does it.
Yeah.
Knowing that this league 20 is not the same lead as it once was, this team's more than capable of coming back. You got to let that one go a little bit longer. Now, if it gets to 30 and you're late third, early fourth, and yeah, I think you're done. But 20, you can do it. You can come back from that.
And also,
and obviously Phoenix did it to him.
I'm trying to think, because you said I don't think it enters his mind, but I don't think he'll do it. I'm trying to think, I don't really remember Mike Brown doing that
No,
often.
he's a guy that plays his guys a lot.
If anything, there's times where I feel like it's like, bro, can you pull the starters?
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
Let's pull them now, please.
Yeah. And I think you put everything into today until today's not a factor, and then you worry about tomorrow.
All right. Cut number D.
Cut number 2.
Brady did.
Feeling Victor Wembanyama.
There it is. The 10 block right there. The triple-double in blocks for Victor Wembanyama. Wow.
This Victor Wembanyama kid. It's really funny sometimes when you see, like, I'm trying to think of all the rookies in our lifetime that are Wembanyama-ish. And I don't mean he's a unicorn. I'm not talking about, like, height, weight.
Incredible.
I'm talking about, like, when you, and it's funny, it's because he's a Spur, but, like, I remember when David Robinson was a rookie. Barely, but I remember that. I was like, oh, this guy's going to be really, LeBron James is a rookie. Kobe Bryant, no, not as a rookie. He wasn't great. But it was actually a thought exercise where I was thinking, let's go back like 30 years. Like, how many LeBron, David Robinson, Victor Wembanyama type?
Was Yao Ming?
I was literally just going to say Yao. I was literally just going to say
Shaq.
I think Yao Ming, Shaq, absolutely. Shaq for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering with Yao, because that's exactly what I was going to go there. Let's see. Yao Ming, his rookie year. 13.5 points, 8.2 boards, 1.8 blocks, and 70. Yao Ming in his first 3 years played 72, 82, and 80 games.
Wow.
Yao Ming total played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons. Well, no, he played 7 seasons, and then he missed one when he was 29 for the foot. He played 5 more games at 30 and retired. And at his peak, 25 points, 10 boards, 2 blocks. God, he was a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, you're seeing this with Victor Wembanyama, and it's kind of fun to watch because, and you never know, things can happen, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I certainly hope they don't. But you're looking at a guy that is going to take the torch. Like, this is one of the main cogs that will be taking the torch from not the LeBron Jameses necessarily, but for whoever's the Jason Tatums, if you will, of the world. This guy's got next, and you're watching it before your eyes, and before you know it, you're going to be seeing perennial all-star appearances, probable MVPs, averaging 20 points, 10 boards, a little over 3 assists, 3.2 blocks a game.
Yeah. Well, and to get a triple-double with blocks is ridiculous.
So last night, to your point, he goes for 27, 14, 5 assists, 2 steals, 10 blocks. I'm going to, this is not when you do like random stat, right? Especially after a game like last night, it's not like I'm going out on a limb here, but I will say this. Victor Wembanyama, if he plays a full career, and by full career, I mean, let's say 10 years and averages 60 games a year, he's going to get a quadruple-double. Like, he's 100% getting a triple-double. Like, he's
quadruple
double. Like, and I'm not talking about screwing around with like turnovers or anything. The last quadruple double, I think, was an Olajuwon. No, it was
Alvin Williams, maybe Alvin Robertson.
It was David. Well, Alvin Robertson was in 86.
Okay.
Hakeem had 18, 16, 11 blocks and 10 assists, March 29th of 90.
What was his rebounds?
What'd I say? Did I mess that up? 18 points, 16 boards.
Oh, okay. I thought you said assists and steals.
Oh, 11 blocks, 10 assists. Who knows? David Robinson, February 17th, 1994, 34 points, 10 boards, 10 assists, 10 blocks. when you look at Wembanyama just last night alone, he's 5 assists off of that. Like, that is just stupid.
Yeah, I was looking back. So in the last 3 Kings games, 3 total, they have 12 blocks as a team in 3 games. He had 10 last night.
Is that harder now to get that many blocks just because of how many people are shooting threes?
Probably. And I've seen him block a few threes this year, which is insane. I think you're right, Chris. I do think it's got to be, when you look at the total, the amount of people that are shooting outside. It isn't like back in Robinson and Akeem's days when you had quite the post presence, and even mid-range. It's either you're in the post or you're shooting threes. And if you're in the post, well, Wembanyama's there. If you're shooting threes, Wembanyama's probably still in the post. It's pretty awesome to watch, man. This guy had the most hype since LeBron James, and he's filling it up, man.
Yeah,
he is filling it up. Cut number 3, please.
Cut number 3.
That's what I'm saying. You can feel the number of people out there being like, what's going on?
First and goal. Mahomes flings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas.
Yeah. Yeah, we know what happened. The point of playing the stat is not because you didn't know who won the Super Bowl, but the numbers are in. The longest Super Bowl game also will go down as the most watched program in television history, according to Nielsen. The game averaged 123.4 million viewers. That shattered last year's mark of 115.1 for Chiefs and Eagles. The game was televised by CBS, Nickelodeon, Univision, and streamed on Paramount Plus, as well as the NFL's digital platforms. Nielsen also said a record 202.4 million watched at least part of the game. That's up 10%. CBS broadcast averaged 120 million. That's up from 112 million for Denver versus Carolina. That's rando.
Super Bowl 50.
Some of the increase can be attributed to the way viewers are now counted. Nielsen only began including certain viewers in 2020. I mean, streaming's changing everything. What I would like to see, and I read it, it's not in this article. I would really like to know how much more money that CBS made because it went to overtime. Like, how much more in commercial, and I'd love to know what the plan there is.
Yeah, because a lot of times those are bonus spots, and so people play for strategy wise where they put their commercials.
Right.
And so are those post game spots that got put into the overtime, or?
I would love to have somebody on. I think that would be a fascinating conversation. Like, how does the process work? I want to advertise. I've got my $8 million. Like, do you get a list of where the open spots are?
Is it like buying squares?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly. You pick, and then how do you pick there? Like, do you want to be the first commercial or the last commercial before kickoff? Do you want to take a chance at being in the third quarter, fourth quarter? But what if it's a blowout? Like, I feel like the first quarter and just before kickoff have got to be the prime spots, right? Because even if it's a blowout, everybody's watching then.
Yeah. And at times I feel like as the game goes on, I don't know. I know I felt that way. It was like I was less interested in the commercials. Like, this game was getting really good.
Yeah.
As far as intensity.
Sure.
I mean, I still watch the commercials, but you're like, the beginning, maybe it's more, oh, that was funny, or I'm into that, or interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know strategy wise what makes the most sense.
I'd also like to know, is it Apple or Pepsi is it Apple now that does the halftime show, or is it Pepsi?
Pepsi.
Pepsi. Okay. God,
it might be Apple.
No, I was going to say, I think it was Apple. I was going to say, Chris confused me.
We need to find a person this would be, oh my God, I'd have so many questions. Like, for example, I'm sure we could find out what Apple pays. Actually, we could do this. We could find out what Apple paid to sponsor the halftime show. And then it's like, okay, is that the equivalent of what 15 minutes of commercials would be? So if it's is it 8 million for a 30-second spot?
Something like that. Yeah.
So 16 million a minute. So you're looking at, you'd need to clear somewhere between $300 and $400 million. My question is this: would it be more like legit? Could the NFL or the networks? I'm sure they could get away with it. Like, do you get rid of the halftime show and just run commercials? And by the way, when I say that, I mean you literally run commercials for 20 minutes. You take a 20-minute commercial break, maybe a 3-minute in the middle, like quick recap, whatever. And I know that that's like so unprecedented, but the point is this: people are going to leave the broadcast. They're going to switch it to another channel.
Right.
They're going to what? Yeah. And that's exactly right. So if you got the Super Bowl, it's like, okay, if halftime is 20 minutes and you're getting 16 million per, that's $320 million in revenue.
I got your answer.
Yeah.
5-year contract.
Okay.
$50 million a year.
Really? And I believe the halftime show's 15 minutes, I think, something like
somewhere
that.
In there.
$50 million a year for 15 minutes. Could you do what is that? 50? That's well, yeah, that's just over $3 million a minute.
But I mean, did you feel like it was a commercial for Apple?
No, I didn't.
So
no, and I don't.
Well, they also do throw in that, like, hey, if you like that, check out Usher on Apple Music.
And every read's got
check out Sactown Sports.
Yeah, which is great. We could buy that.
Yeah.
But then you have like it's always like the Apple halftime show brought to you by Apple, blah, blah, blah. I'm surprised there wasn't more Vision Pro stuff this year. You know,
next year.
Those big old ski goggles. When did you already order yours, Jason?
Yeah.
I would love York. I think that would be amazing. I wish
he's wearing them right now. You can't tell.
Yeah, they're invisible.
Yeah.
I wish it was cheaper. That'd be so funny to do the show in those.
Would it?
Will there be a time where it's like an iPhone where everyone just has one?
I believe, I've got to think that there will be a time in the not too distant, before, right around when we kick off, where you'll have contacts, you'll have some sort of thing you can just kind of drop in your ear, and that's it. And then you're dialed. Like, you're dialed in, dude. Like, the audio's there. And then again, they have this thing that weighs 50 pounds that you have to put on your head. But remember, once upon a time, computers that couldn't do a fraction of what our iPhones could do, they were as big as this room. Eventually, they're going to shrink this stuff down to being able to put it in your eyes. And then everything is spatial computing. But that's the thing. I know we got to go to break, but that's where the great the Dan Brown, the Da Vinci Code guy, one of his last books was so blew my mind, where he's like, we are in the middle of the speediest form of evolution human beings have ever had. He went through all the evolution, but his point was, not him, but the character in the book was like, we're evolving cybernetically. Like, it's literally like pacemakers, different things, different tech that we now rely on, and in some cases to keep us alive, like over the next 200 years, 100 years, and you go back 100 years, like, we're going to be it's going to happen. Like, we're going to be part machine, which is pretty cool and also incredibly scary. Much like not getting a tune-up on your HVAC system. That's really scary. But Carmichael Dave here, not there, here to talk to you about getting that furnace tuned up for just $49 at American Energy Heating and Air. I'm seeing those guys for lunch today. I will tell them you said hello, as a matter of fact. I like to check in with them every couple months. Good folks that are committed to exceeding your expectations of the heating and air industry. Why? How? Well, it's simple. They value your experience in making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. Gas leaks, don't want those. Prevent them. Extend the life of your furnace. Save on your energy bills. It's not a sales call, guys. It's not a sales call. They're not trying to get a foot in the door so they can sell you 950,000 things. No, they're going to come out and tune up your stinking furnace. That's a whole drill. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. All right, when we get back. Yeah, the Super Bowl was watched more than anything ever in the world. But why? And, okay, I'm sorry, not in the world, in America. Shut up, soccer fan. we'll get to that, and we'll get to Can Anything Ever Approach It? We'll do that next.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the National Railroad Passenger Corporation.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Tuesday starts out quite cool. We will see a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day ahead, along with light winds. Today looks and feels a lot like yesterday. Plan for highs in the lower 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Visit new and exciting places across the U.S. On Amtrak, it isn't just about the destination, it's about the journey. Without any busy airports or cramped car rides, with no middle seats, extra legroom, and first-class private rooms. New adventures are just an Amtrak away. Book now at Amtrak.com.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-temperature performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through March 4th, get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge or Edge High Mileage Full Synthetic and an oil filter for $36.99, only at AutoZone.
Claim based on Sequence 3 H-test versus API SP test limits.
Toyota's President's Day sales event ends Monday. Now is your chance to experience legendary Toyota reliability on cars, trucks, and SUVs. Save big with these President's Day deals. Right now, get $1,000 bonus cash when you lease a 2024 Camry. Or when you finance with Toyota, get $1,000 bonus cash on the all-new 2024 Grand Highlander gas model. Hurry in. Toyota's President's Day sales event ends Monday. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium-rated credit. Excludes hybrids ends 3/4/24.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-temperature performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through March 4th, get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge or Edge High Mileage Full Synthetic and an oil filter for $36.99, only at AutoZone.
Claim based on Sequence 3 H-test versus API SP test limits.
Psst. Hey, Mark, remember, getting help from Progressive is so easy. You can use the mobile app, chat with us online, or call us.
And you pick now to tell me.
I couldn't miss Little Grace's ballet recital. Oh, thanks for inviting me, by the way.
Did I?
Because you know I'm always here for you.
Yeah. I can use the mobile app if I need help. Sorry, you're in my wife's seat, though?
Oh, yeah, I gotta go anyway. Tell Grace she nailed her chassé.
Get the help you need from Progressive with our mobile app, online chat, or over the phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Country in the Park is back. May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light, Garner Roofing, and Roseville Kitchen and Bath.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and all NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store and I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. There are a lot of great dads out there. Sometimes those dads get divorced. For more than 30 years, we've represented men in divorce, confronting the pitfalls that could devastate your finances or harm your family relationships. While every situation is different, our goal is to get the best outcome for you and your kids. Visit CordellCordell.com to take the first step.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. Online at CordellCordell.com.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
All right, so when you're looking at these Super Bowl numbers, it's interesting. We have a long segment here, by the way. The first thing is, and it's interesting, because everyone's aware of the world and what they think to a point. I've had an interesting experience this year with the Super Bowl because I deal with a number of English soccer fans now on my social media, and the I don't know if apathy is the right word, but it's a small sample size, obviously, but they're just not like they're like, yeah, dude, I'd rather watch rugby or cricket, like legit.
And get it. You got to think about what time it's on too. Like, I'm not going to stay up for that on a Sunday.
Yeah, because like, for example, in England, the Super Bowl starts at 11:30 p.m. on a work night. And in most cases for NFL football, it sucked being over there. In the sense that, well, the early games would be at 6 p.m. And then the afternoon games are at 9 p.m. And then the Sunday night football games like 1, 2 a.m. It's just not conducive.
Yeah. Is it the same as here? Like, I don't think the Olympic experience is as fun when
Agreed.
Our timelines just don't match up as well. And so you might now, with the advent, obviously, of social media and just even anything, internet postings of, hey, U.S. whatever hero has won the gold medal in this.
Right.
Like, oh, I won't get to see that till 8 o'clock tonight.
And it's not as fun because you know what
what the results are.
You know exactly what the results are.
When you were watching the football games over there, were you watching on Sky Sports where there's no commercials?
There's no commercials.
Doesn't that throw you? Because it seems like it's just halftime keeps coming up.
It's so weird, dude. And they have, God, who was the ex-player? It was somebody I didn't even recognize. They had this British guy, like Alistair Nigelhoffen, and then they have some ex-NFL player, but again, I didn't even recognize him. And then a lady. It's a 3-person commentary booth, and it's funny because you can tell. And I wasn't really trying to be that guy, but you can tell that one of those people knew football. And the other two were just kind of there and like knew it.
Yeah.
But like, knew it like I know soccer over there. Like,
but then also you have to talk to people that don't know it.
That's exactly right. And so, and I picked up on that too, that a lot of things, like they were very wary and good about explaining, like we're not going to get Jim Nantz over here and be like, and if you get 10 yards, that's a first down. We're not going to get that. It's just understood. So when it's tough, when people say, well, what's the biggest sporting event of the year? The answer is it's difficult. Here's why. The World Cup numerically for soccer is untouched. And Chris, I thank you for these numbers you sent me. Here's my question. Do you happen to know, were these numbers you got for the last 3 World Cups, are these viewers for the World Cup or viewers for the final?
The final.
This is just the final.
So for 2022, where it says 1.6, I believe.
Yeah, 1.5 billion.
3.3 billion total.
So you're getting for example, the Super Bowl just broke this record, and it was, at times up to 200 million people, and averaged 123.4. So just compare that 1.5 billion to 123.4. It's just, it's less than 10% of what the World Cup gets. Here's where it gets interesting, though. So when it comes to commercial revenue, it's very difficult because soccer is a completely different animal.
Right.
You have one spot to show commercials, and that's at halftime. They have what's called an L stream or something, like basically where they will move the broadcast into an L shape, kind of where you have the left side of your screen and the bottom of your screen available for advertisements. And they have to make up for their lack of commercials with advertisements during the game, basically on-field advertisements, etc. The other problem is that people know exactly when you're going to break and they know exactly when you're coming back. You can literally set your watch to it. So when you're looking at the numbers, Jason, the average cost, I just have this from 2 years ago, so it's a little outdated.
This World Cup or Super Bowl?
Both.
Okay.
So the average cost of a 30-second commercial in 2022 was $7 million for the Super Bowl. For the World Cup, and this, by the way, these numbers reflect the final. For the World Cup, 1.1 million. So with the Super Bowl, not only are your commercials 7 times more expensive, but you have far, far, far more revenue for the game. But the Super Bowl is not now the way to really kind of apples to apples this, I think, would be to take the playoffs, to take the NFL playoffs from the divisional on and get all the numbers for that, which I looked. I haven't seen anybody do that yet. And to basically treat the NFL playoffs like football's World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but follow me. I think if you took the NFL playoffs as a whole, all the games, and you took the World Cup as a whole, I would take all of that, find an average, and then multiply by 4. And I think that's the only way you could get close to apples to apples. And the World Cup still, by the way, the World Cup's still going to be bigger, I think. But I think you'd have to multiply by 4 and then divide by the amount of games, because I need a per game and then a championship.
You're doing by 4 because of every year of the Super Bowl is
there's 4 Super Bowls for every one World Cup. And by the way, and I know
maybe even the closer thing would be to do the Champions League final, because that's a yearly thing.
Yeah,
but it would only be like the Super Bowl and like the Champions League final.
I would just like to, because World Cup's the king. World Cup is the king. But again,
that's the one that everybody in the world is watching.
Right. And I think, and by the way, and I'm not trying to cook the numbers here to make it better for
the other thing too is American sports are built for commercials, for like commercial breaks.
That's correct.
Like
and
football,
soccer is not.
Baseball.
Well, and they're highlighted. I mean, to say, hey, people evaluate and critique the Super Bowl commercials. I mean, that's
right.
Like the one time a year it feels like that's done.
And I don't think that here we go. Hold on a second here. In 2023, Real Madrid won the Champions League title over Liverpool. The best numbers show a viewership of an estimated 700 million viewers. Which I believe they say was a record there. But then are we talking viewers? Are we talking inventory? Are we talking revenue? and that's a whole different fun, nerdy conversation. We're leading up to the point of it is really an interesting thing when you think about it, Jason, that NFL football is the undisputed heavyweight champion of not American sports, American viewing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing compares to it.
Right.
No TV show.
Always the highest rated. All football.
Always.
Yeah.
What did we say last year? It was like
93.
93. I think it was 90. Yeah. I think it was 93 of 100 was NFL, and there were four that were college football. Football, American football, college or NFL. And by the way, we've talked about this before too. What's really interesting is that college football is completely out of sorts right now.
Yeah.
Imagine these numbers if there becomes a Premier League style college football outlet. You're going to see a lot more in there. But it's the undisputed king. But when you get out of America, nobody really cares. Yeah, they've got their NFL Europe games that they do.
Going to Brazil this year.
Yeah, Canadian football, like that. But it's not like there are these, even in places where there are these established American football leagues, they're not by any way, shape, or form killing it.
Right.
But then on the other hand, the whole rest of the world is like soccer, football. That's what's king. In Europe, their NFL is soccer. Well, we have soccer. We have an established soccer league. It's the fourth, some might argue the third.
Yeah.
But it is certainly not number one or number two, and almost certainly not number well, no, it's not third. That's right. It's fighting with hockey, basically. That's the level they're at right now. So it's like, God, I'm a person, they're a person, we're all people, we all enjoy things. It's not like the NFL's been around since the 1800s. Soccer's been around a lot longer.
Right.
And then meanwhile, India and Pakistan are like, oh, hello, cricket, hello. And cricket is massive. In fact, I want to say, didn't we go over this a couple months ago when it comes to TV deals and distribution rights? I think it goes NFL, cricket, Premier League, I think, 1, 2, and 3. Cricket is massive. Dude, I tried my best to get into cricket over there. I had a guy who was like ex-cricket player who works for Huddersfield Town that like sat me down with literally with a whiteboard while we were in the media room and there was a game on. Match, whatever the hell, and was like going through cricket. And about 5 minutes in, I was like, in my head, I was like, he's super nice. I don't want to be impolite, but somebody kill me. Yeah. I don't
When is this over?
I'm never going to understand it. You're telling me you can play for 3 days and it's a tie, and this team's up 200-3 right now, and they're what? And the guy
they're getting dog walked.
Well, I have no idea.
On the board, they have like ducks for some reason. I'm like, what is that? Oh, well, that means that the batter did this.
Right. And you're like, what is all of this stuff? So it is fascinating to me, and I go, okay. Part of the built-in advantage, I think, that other, again, I can only speak to Europe a little bit, is like, that's the sport. Like, they have rugby. Rugby is big over there. Nobody, no offense to anybody, nobody cares about rugby here.
Right.
Rugby is like junior high basketball level of care over here. And every once in a while, it's like, oh, look at the rugby guys. You watch 5 minutes of it. Like, okay, I'm good. I don't understand. Everybody piles up. There's a giant dog pile, and then someplace in the pile, somebody farts out the ball to somebody who then does like 19 laterals to a guy that dives over the line, and then they kick the thing through the thing, and the referee does this, and
powerful fart.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. I don't get that. So the question, I guess, is why is it so? Is it because we as Americans have been programmed this way? Because for us, soccer. Again, it's growing. I want to acknowledge that. But let's be honest. For the most part, most people are like soccer.
Yeah, and wouldn't you say most? I don't know. Maybe my numbers would be wrong. Most youth play more soccer than football?
Yes. I don't want to say by far, but I would say almost certainly by far. Mm-hmm. That's my uneducated opinion. But just knowing from all of us growing up, what are you getting to Pop Warner? What, about 8, 9, 10 at the earliest?
You can, but it seems like more people played soccer. To me, that was my experience.
Everybody I know that grew up with any athletic background, everybody played. That was your first sport. Mm-hmm. It was soccer and Little League.
Yeah.
You played soccer in Little League growing up. And then, if you're done with soccer as you're an early teen, you keep playing baseball. Maybe you got into basketball or whatever. In junior high, we had a football team, but it was flag.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have tackle football at Churchill. It was just flag football playing against, Arden and everybody else. I don't, you got to think it's going to change at some point. And I try to put myself in a position where I'm like, could soccer, how big could soccer get over here? And the answer I keep coming to, and Chris, I know you're as or more equipped than I am. I just don't see soccer being incredibly relevant here until if and when they ever develop a promotion relegation system.
Yeah,
I don't think ultimately they're going to be.
I think that's really what helps bring it all together, because in your town you've got, if Sacramento was in England, there would be 6 different soccer clubs in this area.
That's
and
right.
Each different borough has their own.
That's
and it's
right.
just, there is no college sports because I've got this team that I want to see, and I'm in the 3rd level, and I know I'm never going to go up, but maybe.
Well, but and again, jump in here and correct me. But Jason, it would be you have the Roseville Firebirds and the Elk Grove Dingledongs and the Carmichael Chickens, and everybody has, like you said, their own. But in that situation, let's use the Carmichael Chickens. They win the City Cup, and then that enters them into the State Cup. And let's say they win it. I'll save some time here, but my point is that we could literally organize in this situation the Carmichael Chickens. And as long as we got
chickens,
right, exactly. And then as long as we had, you got to pay some fees and have some licensings and blah, 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 blah. But at some point, imagine if the Carmichael Chickens were a baseball team. And at some point, after years of this and this and this, all of a sudden the Carmichael Chickens are in AAA. They're playing against other AAA teams. And if they do well enough in AAA, oh my God, the Carmichael Chickens are in Major League Baseball. They're literally in Major League Baseball and can win the World Series. And they started at some dude's house when people were drinking beers.
And the Yankees are coming to Carmichael.
Yeah, right. And yes.
All rise.
And the way MLS has it is just so foreign to most other soccer leagues in other countries where that's how it happens. All these huge Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool, all these teams were back in the 1800s was again, Alistair and other guy had a few beers at the pub and decided to put this team together. And
City was started by priests trying to get kids to stop fighting and drinking.
That's legitimately the story, isn't it?
Yeah, that's 100% true.
And they're now one of the biggest clubs in the world, worth multiple billions of dollars. Yeah. That's how you do it. It's a fascinating
good work by the priests.
Very, yeah. That story didn't start out good. But, okay, we'll take a break. When we come back, let's get into Kings Phoenix. First meetings were a little interesting, especially the last one. And we got some highlights for you as well. We'll do all that next.
The Sacramento Kings are in Phoenix tonight to battle the Suns.
Malik Monk driving. Hammer time! Off the bounce, coming from the right angle. And look at the Kings fans jump to their feet.
Tip off at 7 on your home of the Kings. Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced. Let our professional parts people test your battery for free at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Some people just know the best places to eat around town. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate. They know exactly where to go to get exactly what you're wanting. They know where to find the spiciest hot pot, the gooeyest brownies, and the tenderest, most flavorful portobello steak. Those people also know that safe drivers save 40% with Allstate.
Saving 40% is based on the national average premium savings for Allstate auto customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and vary based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a click away. Order online and pick up at your local store. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I got to change the oil in my car. Right now, get 5 quarts of Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for only $36.99. What do I do with my old oil? We can recycle your used oil for free.
And do you have oil for my old work truck?
You can find the right high mileage oil to help it go farther right here at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save on bulk purchases of select insulation from trusted brands like Green Fiber. And there's more. Save 10% when you buy 6 or more select interior pre-hung and slab doors. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
RC Willie has everything for your home, including furniture, mattresses, appliances, electronics, and flooring. With our vast selection, it's easy to find items that fit your style and your budget. We also offer a variety of finance options, including 0 down and 0 interest for 18 months. Whether you're looking to establish new credit or ready to make your space more cozy, we can help. With our flexible finance options, you can easily update your home one piece or one room at a time. Plus, we have a low price guarantee. Let us help you make your home your way at RC Willie.
Hey, you. Yes, you. Have you been to Kohl's lately? Because if not, you are seriously missing out. I just went and they have amazing clearance deals going on. I'm talking thousands of new markdowns added. So you can save up to 70% on everything from fleece sweats, cute sweaters, comfy PJs, and more. So take it from me. Run to Kohl's before you miss out. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light, Garner Roofing, and Roseville Kitchen and Bath.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Let me look at the sheet here. Frankie Cartelli is our Sacramento Kings insider. He's going to join us at 8. Followed directly by Sean Salisbury. That's 2 guests in a half an hour, back to back.
Yep.
Matt Barrows, freshly back from Vegas, will join us at 9 for Sad Niners Talk.
Oh,
I know. Imran Pilati, True Sports Cards. He's going to be in studio with us at 9:30. His show airs each Saturday at 10 to 11 a.m. And we're going to talk cards. And so, of course, if you have questions, you can call him. We'll give you a chance for that. And then celebrity birthdays. Crosstalk with a very special crosstalk with Styles and Watkins today.
Why is that?
Yeah. I'll show you why, Jason Ross. I'll give you a little preview.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Do you know what? I'm going to show you a picture, and I want you to identify it, or what you think that is. What are some of the things you see?
I can't.
Okay, yeah, grab that.
See, that looks like mac and cheese, beans.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, was this a meal had on the road?
It was
not at your place.
Oh, it was at my place.
Oh,
yeah, by Jay Johnson.
Who
I called, I think Wednesday. We had a nice conversation. It's a true story. I called him. I called Jay specifically to say, dude, I just want you to know, because
I look at the sausage. That's great.
Sausage looks wonderful.
Yeah.
I called Jay, and I'll say this publicly because he deserves it. I said, look, Styles and Watkins are getting a lot of love, and rightfully so. Their coverage down last week was great. We really appreciated the Super Bowl coverage and appreciated Jiffy Lube making all of that possible. But the unsung heroes are always the producers. Look, and I'm going to say all this, and none of this is disrespecting Styles or Watkins, and I guarantee you if they were in this room, they'd be nodding their heads and agreeing. We can all sit down and interview really interesting guests. That's what we do for a living. You have to get those guests.
Correct.
And as people that have been down at Radio Row, especially when you're a mid-market, it's very difficult to get name guests to come over because you're competing with 900 other stations. Jay Johnson goes down there as the producer, and Styles and Watkins have a show to do. And I'm not saying they didn't do any other work, don't get me wrong, but it's Jay's job to lasso these guests and bring them over and sit them down.
Yeah.
And he absolutely killed it. So I called him. I was just like, dude, just want you to know you're doing a great job. Super appreciate it. You're the best. And then we started talking, and I said, oh, yeah, by the way, you should get over. I forgot to tell you. And gave him the address and everything to John Mole's Roadkill Grill, which I was trying to get Styles and Watkins to go. You know what he does? Very next night, Uber's out there, eats it, sends me pictures, reviews.
What do you think?
Breaks everything down. You know what? I don't mind telling you exactly. I mean, this is what you get with Jay Johnson.
A full review.
Meat was slamming. Them ribs and sausages, chef's kiss. Mac and cheese was good. Beans wasn't a fan of. I prefer mine a little more barbecue sauce. That's fair.
Yeah. I like everything.
Bread was good too. 9 out of 10 so far. I need to get back there and taste a few more of their meats. Also, prices were super fair for barbecue. Normally, barbecue is very expensive. Appreciate the recommendation, my man. That's it. Hey Jay, try this out.
Yeah.
Boom.
And you got a 9 out of 10.
Because he's a go-getter. These guys are like, man, I'm too busy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a steak. So, anyways, just want to point that out for them. Also, I sent Chris Watkins, completely different thing, but I sent Chris Watkins a text that was meant for my wife. And
while they were in Vegas?
No, yesterday. Set the screen. And the best part is that he didn't even respond like, huh? And then I caught it later, and I was like, oh my God, yeah, that was for somebody else. And he was like, yeah, I just figured you were messing around. So, okay, well.
He's not a big texter.
He is or is not?
Is not.
Yeah, I've kind of noticed that. Chris Watkins is a name. I really like Chris. There's no secret there. I like Chris Watkins.
Well, thank you. Oh, Chris Watkins.
Well, yeah, you're fine. And but he is kind of an enigma. He's kind of an old man trapped in a young man's body in many ways, which works.
Yeah.
But by the way, I got out of a lunch meeting yesterday with a new client that I promise you all are going to have some. I can't say anything now. We had a new sponsor, a new old sponsor on the show, but there's doing something different this time. Jason, you know about this. I think you can back me up. The audience is really gonna have a lot of fun with this one. Perhaps more fun than they've ever had with any sponsors that I've had.
And you've had some unique ones.
I have.
This one's on the list.
This one is
pretty high up there.
This one's really
unique. It's on the rise.
It's on the rise, 100%. So anyways, I got out and I was on my way home and I tuned in old Styles and Watkins.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
Yes.
It is a good show.
Absolutely.
Although weirdly they sounded echoey. Maybe
Yesterday?
it was just on my phone. Yeah, it sounded like they were in a bathroom or something, but maybe that's just...
They're still on remote.
They were still on remote. So shout out to them and shout out to Jay Johnson and shout out to the Sacramento Kings who take on Phoenix tonight. We've got all your coverage right here on the Sporty 1140 as we always do. We should probably get this sponsored at some point. We play a game of guess. The line. Guess the line. Guess the betting line. I did that live.
Yeah.
That was my voice. I did the echo too on my own. Gentlemen, the Kings face the Suns tonight. Don't forget, that is a TNT broadcast. So that means no Katie and whoever, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Draper.
Well, I didn't know. I'm just saying I didn't know if it would be Mark or Kyle. That's kind of lame. They should let them fly home early then. Like, they should have been able to fly home after the OKC game.
What about Denver?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Never mind. All right.
They should be able to go to Denver.
Yeah.
Right. They should be able to fly home and then fly back to Denver.
Punishment.
Kings and Suns. That's tonight. 7 o'clock start, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes they screw around and do 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock. What is the line tonight and who is favored?
I'm going to say Phoenix is favored.
Okay.
And I'm going to say we'll go with 4.5.
4.5.
That's what I was going to say. I'll say Suns 5.5.
But your initial
Was
thought
4.5.
was 4.5. Chris, good thing Jason said 4.5. 5.5 is absolutely correct. He piggybacked that. Sometimes them's the breaks. You should have deferred. So
I wasn't sure of the overtime rules.
Jason wanted the third chance.
Yeah.
Right. Phoenix is favored by 5.5 against your Sacramento Kings.
Crooks.
Yes, they are. It's been interesting so far. The Kings went into Phoenix and won 114-106. That was on Friday, December 8th. They then beat Phoenix 120-105 on December 22nd. Went back into Phoenix. We all know what happened there. What was it, 30-8?
Yeah,
30-8 run for Phoenix. Kings did something.
32-8, whatever it was.
32-8. Kings did something they hadn't done in 1,200 games. Nobody had done in 1,200 games, which is blow a lead that big that late. They lose to Phoenix 119-117. So here's the bottom line. Not that Phoenix has been, we can talk about injury here, no Bradley Beal, whatever. The Sacramento Kings are 2-1 against Phoenix. The Kings are, hold on a second. Oh, that's because it was the stupid playing. Like, why are they having 3 games in Phoenix?
Yeah, in season tournament.
Yeah, it's got to be they're playing.
And 5 with the Pelicans, 5 with the Suns.
So the Suns get the benefit of the 3 home games. The Kings, having played 2 on the road and 1 at home, they are 2-1 against Phoenix, and really by all rights should be 3-0, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. They're 2-1. Let's just say this: they've had success against Phoenix this year.
Mm-hmm.
So you look at tonight though, and you look at Phoenix. It seems like they've been fairly steady as of late. When you look at their last few, they've won 3 of 4. They've won 5 of 7, and weirdly enough, their 2 losses. Well, one came in Atlanta by 9, and then they had the 1-point loss to Golden State. But when you look at their wins, Utah, Milwaukee at home, Washington, Brooklyn, and then at Miami on the 29th of January, 118-105 when Miami was in the middle of that losing streak. And if you go back and you include that Sacramento game, Jason, Phoenix did win 7 in a row with notable wins at Lakers, Sacramento, at Pelicans, Indiana, at Dallas, and then lost at Indiana to break that up. So this is kind of a Jekyll and Hyde team.
Yep.
They certainly have the talent. It's just a matter of how are these matchups going to work tonight with Sacramento.
Yeah, and I think the last couple times they've played, we've seen Keegan guard Kevin Durant, which I think is something that'll be fun to watch. Maybe even some minutes on Booker as well. This will be the second time they played Booker, Beal, and Durant, all 3.
Yep.
So the last one, the Kings lost, but they also had a 22-point lead, so played some of their best basketball. I'm sure the Kings remember that game and some of the good things they did. Sabonis has played them well, and also they need Fox to get back to 20+ point De'Aaron Fox. He's on a stretch here below 20 points, so let's see if he can get going.
33 points for De'Aaron in 37 minutes on 50% shooting in their last matchup. Sabonis went for 21, 12, and 11. Monk had 13 off the bench. Barnes with 8, Murray with 18, Herter with 10. When we go to the Phoenix side, Kevin Durant had 27, Bradley Beal had 13, Devin Booker had 16 on 5 of 14 shooting. What the problem was, and we'll see how this works out tonight, is it wasn't Durant, it wasn't Beal, and it wasn't Booker. It was Grayson Allen who killed the Kings with a team-high 29 points, 9 of 14 from beyond the arc. And this Grayson Allen, TJ McConnell type guard really needs to be snuffed out by this team. Right?
Yeah, I mean, yes, but I also think that was a night like, okay, let someone else beat you. And
Sure.
if Grayson Allen beats you, then tip of the cap to Grayson Allen. So, you
Yeah.
know, all that, they still needed the huge comeback to win the game.
We'll take a break. When we come back, 3 for Madness brought to you by Fire Wings. We'll talk about this Kings season and a little question for you. We'll go back in time with the Sacramento Kings. We'll do that next.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis, put the frosting on the cake, put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Welcome to the President's Day sale, happening now at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Celebrate with us and get huge savings on our giant selection. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company, sold on report.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and me the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Jiffy Lube, your place for oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, coming up at 8, Frankie. Coming up next. Might as well do it. It's our first baseball conversation of the year.
What?
Don't worry, we're not going to get all nerdy on baseball, but I just had some general questions for y'all. In the meantime, brought to you by Fire Wings. Christopher Laud brings you 3 for Madness. Question 1.
Has this King season been as fun as last season?
No.
Short and sweet.
No, it hasn't. It's been weirdly more stressful. And when you look at what they're either a game ahead or right on pace with what they did last year with some huge wins, some dumb losses, but expectations are a B, man. And as you and I both know, if the Sacramento Kings had not made the playoffs last year and they were sitting here at 23-17 and every single game had gone exactly the same way, but just take last year out of the equation. Substitute this year, move it back to last year. We'd be like, oh my God, the Kings are back. The Kings, a competitive team. I don't know what they could do. They could have a ceiling loaded. But now it's like, ugh, these guys are freaking losers, man. What is wrong with them? These guys are butts. Like, that's a lot of what you hear. And I'm not saying that's wrong. Like, it's just interesting in a short one season after 16 years and not making the playoffs. It's so interesting what expectations do for you.
Yeah, and I think, I said last year the come up is the most exciting season. I mean, like that, the first year back, it's going to be difficult to change that. What I do wonder about this year with one more win at this time than a year ago is if they had less of these head-scratching losses. Like if they had the same amount of losses, but they kind of made more sense.
Right.
If that
I hear you.
I wonder how we'd feel because I think that's been really puzzling and frustrating in an enjoyable year, if that makes sense. So, the short answer is no, it has not been as fun, but it still can be more fun going forward.
If we're sitting here and this is a second round at worst Western Conference final,
it's incredible.
I do feel like if it's another first round exit, I don't think people are going to be like, but I'd be like, okay, I mean, we didn't really advance. But if we get anywhere past the first round, it's house money at that point. Yeah, we're gonna be like, okay, well, we're steadily rising, and we add this guy. Okay. Question 2, please.
Question 2.
Does this mean next season won't be as fun as this one?
Yes. Just I was thinking about that too. Then by proxy, no, it won't, unless next season is like the year where this team wins like 55-60, adds a star, takes this huge leap, and are true blue title contenders that are at the top or near the top of the Western Conference, going at it with everybody. You can beat anyone at any given night. Like, that's going to be the bar next year. Like, that's almost certainly going to be the bar next year. I'm not saying they can't make that jump, but that's a tough jump to make in year 3. But that's what it's going to take, I think, compared to this year. And I think the funny thing is that you and I next, February 13th, we're going to be having some conversations about, last year was up and down and all that, but this team did this. It just, I'm not saying it won't be as fun, but odds are it won't be as fun.
Yeah, the more and more times you make the playoffs, the regular season becomes the grind, right? And that it's part of the journey, but really your true evaluation is how much farther do you get in the postseason. So you kind of just have to go through the 82. If you think the Kings make it to the playoffs this year, no matter how far they go, but assuming they don't win a championship, then you're already waiting for next year's playoffs again. So you got to go through the 82 to get there. You got to make sure you get there too. So it becomes more of a chore. It's a little bit like the Niners, Dave. No matter what they do next year, they could be 17-0, and that would all be great. Great. But you have to wait for the final game. They have to win the Super Bowl. Like, that's the next step of their puzzle, and the Kings aren't as far along as that. But the regular season is going to be tough for the Niners to be as enjoyable next year.
And that's just natural progression, man. Like, you started out in a diaper, and then you started walking. And, it's like if you just stopped walking, and you're like, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's not working, man. Right. You got to run at some point. Number 3, please.
Question 3.
Bring back one king to fit this team as perfectly as possible.
Okay. So this is a result of me having an argument with myself last night randomly. I was
How'd
playing,
you do?
You know what? I won. Also, I lost. I was playing like one of my dumb Royal Match games, and I was like, because I know we've had versions of this question before, but here's what I'm saying. It's got to be a Sacramento King, and it has to be this player will offer the most net win increase, in your opinion, for this specific team. So what I mean by that is,
also, I think you'd have to add, you're taking them as a player on the King, right? You can't take like Vince Carter.
Yes, thank you, Chris. Yes. You're taking who they were and what their age was basically as a Sacramento King. So, for example, like, well, Chris Webber's the greatest King ever is what most people say. Okay. But does Chris Webber on this particular team give you the most net win increase when you have Sabonis having the ball? By the way, maybe he does. Maybe that's your pick. I'm just saying that's how you have to think of it. Here's what my argument came down to for me. This is where it came down to. Mitch or Ron Artest. And hear me out. I understand that when you're talking about Mitch Richmond, Vlade, Chris, Peja, Doug Christie, like, Ron was great, but what the hell are you throwing Ron in for? Here's my argument for Ron. Number 1, his defense and the fact that he can guard multiple positions. Not that Mitch can't, but you get a little bit like you're putting Mitch on 4s, on 5s. No, you're not. He can guard point guard. He certainly can guard a 2 or a 3. But once you get outside of that zone, like, also putting Ron on a point guard is going to be a little bit tough. But Ron could guard 4 positions and guard them at a first team level. Also, the edge, the attitude, and again, this is Ron when he was with Sacramento. This is not young Chicago Bulls going to Circuit City and getting a job, or the good guys. This is not Indiana Ron and the brawl and all that. This is Sacramento Ron. And that's what I landed on. I landed on Ron Artest if I could pick any past Sacramento King for this particular team. And I know that's probably a minority opinion, but
no, it's a good choice. I mean, because I think we're all thinking defense.
Yeah.
Doug Christie would be a candidate, but I'm going 100%. To I think it's Mitch. I would go Mitch.
I can't argue with
position that. Of the 2. I mean, Fox and Mitch. The other part of areas that I like Mitch maybe over Ron too is, 1, literally just another supreme scorer. Ron could score.
Yes.
Ron didn't have any liabilities really there.
But he wasn't Mitch scorer.
No, but Mitch also wasn't the same kind of defender as Ron, but Mitch had an edge to him, a little chip. There was a toughness to Mitch.
Sure. I was not trying. Yeah, and I know that's not what you're saying, but I was certainly not trying to imply that either.
And maybe one other kind of secret weapon, I think, for Mitch is he played a little bully ball. He would get to the foul line and he would convert. convert there. He was a good free throw shooter, to my recollection.
I think kind of to your point, what kind of hung me up too with Mitch, and by the way, I am so waffling on these two. Mitch in today's game, shooting threes,
right,
as opposed to back then,
right.
I mean, you can add another 3, 4, 5 points a game to this.
Yeah, and the other one, I mean, I was really thinking of Peja.
Yeah,
because Peja would take 3 or 4 threes in a game, 5. I mean, I was looking at a couple. We're looking at the playoffs back in 2002 in one of the series, and Peja took like 2 or 3 a game. I mean, now it'd be like 10 to 12 a game. And I just would like to see one of the great shooters of all time just have a little bit more freedom than was kind of accepted back then. But
the problem is the defense.
Yeah, or just
unless he's defending Dirk Nowitzki, then he's first team.
Yeah, but I mean, shooting. The way the league is now is offense. So, but I think Mitch would be my choice.
This wouldn't be my pick, but again, this is just a fun thought exercise. I have thought often, or not often, but I have thought like, I say take the attitude away, and I know that's okay, but like, I do wonder if a Prime Cousins and Sabonis could work as a 5-4. I just honestly wonder.
Both smart players, they'd figure it out.
Both smart players, both great. But would Boogie would probably be the stretch, right?
Yeah,
which is
more so. But I don't know that. Yeah,
neither one.
I wonder if they would. They're really similar in skill set.
They are. Sabonis a better passer, I think. But Boogie was a great passer.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder how they would complement each other.
That would be a brutal throw. Oh my God, that would be a brutal. They'd have weaknesses.
Yeah, kind of like, I mean, it wasn't a long run, but AD and DeMarcus kind of figured it out.
They did. Oh God, that's one of the great wonders is what would have happened had DeMarcus not blown his Achilles that particular season. They were really on a run at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I it's funny that neither of us, but well, Chris, let me ask you, who would you pick?
I'd pick Mitch.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering where Artest would fit with Murray. Like, would he take away from Murray?
I think you'd probably go Murray 3, Artest 4.
Okay.
I think that's what they'd do.
Actually, Artest and Murray together wouldn't be bad defensively too.
Great defensive.
Oh my God, you've got two fantastic. I mean, I think Murray's going to get on one of these all
defense. I think you switched me to Artest.
It's funny though. No, I didn't expect this, but none of us picked Chris Webber.
Yeah.
Which I agree with that. Also, Webber on this team ain't going to hurt.
Right.
That's for sure. But interesting how none of us picked Chris Webber. I honestly thought one or both of you was going to pick Webber, but it sounds like we're all on kind of the same page. Add some defense. Yeah. And by the way, everyone, I'm aware, I'm getting some people saying, ask Michael Jordan how good of a defender. No, that's why I understand how good of a defender Mitch was. Didn't Jordan say something about Randy Brown once too? Why is that in my brain?
I'm not sure.
I feel like he did say something about Randy Brown's defense, weirdly enough. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's have our very first, let's just dip a pinky toe in the conversation about baseball, because a week from this Saturday, both Florida and Arizona spring training leagues will officially kick off. So we got to have a conversation. We'll do it next.
The Sacramento Kings are in Phoenix tonight to battle the Suns.
Malik Monk driving. Hammer time! Off the bounce, coming from the right angle. And look at the Kings fans jump to their feet.
Tip off at 7 on your home of the Kings. Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Tuesday starts out quite cool. We will see a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day ahead, along with light winds. Today looks and feels a lot like yesterday. Plan for highs in the lower 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Don't miss out on New Year's savings at Folsom Lake Kia. Low prices and payments on your favorite new Kia models. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia, right here in Sacramento for over 25 years, or folsomlakekia.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got good news. The American Energy Heat and Air $0 HVAC diagnostic has been extended to February 29th. That's right. It expired at the end of January, but want to give you all an opportunity who missed out to get in. It's a $99 value. All right, it's $100, and right now it's free. I don't know how much easier I can pitch that.
Normally $100, now $0. Let the American Energy team test your system, your connections, and all the moving parts of that system to make sure it's functioning properly. And you know who's going to be coming to your home? A group of people that have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. A group of folks that have been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. $0 HVAC diagnostic. Normally a $100 value right now at American Energy Heat and Air. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com or call them to make your appointment. 916-520-9990.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Get ready for an exciting drive in the 2024 Kia Forte GT line, now at Elk Grove Kia for just $19,988. Experience efficiency with an impressive 39 mpg, smooth rides with automatic transmission, and stay on track with the lane departure warning system for only $19,988. Enjoy modern conveniences with its huge 10.25-inch touchscreen with navigation and a rear camera, Bluetooth wireless technology, and the ease of push-button start for only $19,988. Or lease this incredible ride with no cash out of pocket for only $279 per month plus tax. You heard right. No money down and only $279 plus tax. Elk Grove Kia, where driving dreams come true. Visit us today in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovekia.com.
Sale price $20,738. Dealer choice rebate $750. Net price $19,988. Must finance 3 Kia finance 5 at this price. 24 monthly 0 cash down. Residual of $16,390.50 based on 10K per year. 20 cents a mile over 0 security deposit. Kia Tier 1 approval required. Expires 2/15/2024.
Elk Grove Kia.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
Just to make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
All right, let's do this. They're a week from Saturday. You'll have both spring training. Everyone's going to be playing a spring training game. Pitchers and catchers report. As a matter of fact, is it the Dodgers and Padres actually play a couple days before that? Because they're opening up the season in Korea.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think it's Dodgers, Padres. It's here, Jason. And it's interesting because you're a Yankees fan.
I am.
And so you have a few other things going on. Now, just in case you're wondering when they actually report. So tomorrow, the A's report.
Where?
Great. Yeah, exactly. How are they getting there? Thursday for the Giants. But most either are reporting tomorrow or Thursday. There's a couple in here like San Diego Sunday. But for the most part, everybody's reporting this week. And then everybody, or pitchers and catchers, then everybody's pretty much reported by the end of the weekend. So we're there. You have a different perspective because you have an out-of-market team that you root for that, you know, is a very big, major team. In Northern California, it's a little bit different. Now, by the way, the Giants overnight had a signing.
That's a good signing,
yeah,
I think.
Jorge Soler.
Yes.
I agree with you.
3-year deal?
3-year deal. $42 million. Gives you a little bit of power there. quite a bit of power there, you could say. Solaire's been in the league. This would be, I think, his 11th season. Last couple years with the Marlins. Last year in 138 games, hit 36 home runs. Career high with the Royals in 2019, 48 home runs. So yeah, this guy's, you wonder how that works at Oracle, but I actually just saw a list of all his home runs overlaid at Oracle, and looks like pretty good. It's not like Miami's a bandbox anyways. When he was playing in Colorado. But for the Giants, I think the expectations are, in fact, I know as far as Vegas is concerned, the expectations is this is right around a 500 team.
Right. That's how I felt about them last year. I go, this is a look of a team that is going to be about right at 581 and 81.
Now, the thing is, for the Giants, if you're being optimistic here, it's also the first year of the Bob Melvin era. Bob Melvin comes home, if you will, to a team that he I can't remember if he started with the Giants. I think he did, but certainly played for the Giants. But outside of that, there's just not a ton going on with the Giants. Their over under on wins in most places is 81.5, so that's right at 500. And then when you look at the A's, let's put it this way: the Colorado Rockies are the second worst team according to Vegas when it comes to future win totals at 62.5. Gentlemen, let's play a game. The Oakland A's, according to Vegas, are favored to win this many games this season.
54.5.
I'm going to say that's a really good one. 58.5.
You're both really, really good. Jason, you're incredibly good. The Oakland A's are favored to win exactly 55 games this season.
They're predicting them to have way more than 100 losses.
55. And the thing is, I will tell you this from a content perspective. I think the Oakland A's are about 10 times more interesting than the Giants this year.
But that's not the team. I mean, that's the team, not the team on the field.
About 98% of our audience completely understands when I say it's the off field that's more interesting. And Kings fans went through that for a good solid 5-6 years. That's how we're there in Oakland now. That's where it's at. The Oakland A's, I would actually venture to say, are probably going to be a top 10 story in baseball this year, on top of being the worst team in baseball. I mean, they are comically bad, Yeah.
They're
literally like whatever is between AAA and the major leagues. They are not a major league team, and they're not a AAA team, but they're not a major league team.
And what I find odd about this year, and by all the reports, it will be their final year in Oakland, at least at that, at the Coliseum. Are you going to go to a game there? Because I would like to attend a game.
I will, but I'm going to try to be strategic about it. Like, I'm certainly not going to go to any of the boycott games.
No, yeah, exactly.
I'm
not trying to help anybody in that.
Of course,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to do the thing I've done the last couple of years, where we get those seats behind home plate, and I take my kid.
Are those worth it?
Yes.
Is it like value? You get your value for it?
Well, it just depends. It's what is it? $500. You park right next to the entrance. Your parking's taken care of. You literally go in through the hallway where the locker rooms are. So you've got they have it cordoned off, but A's locker room here, visitors there. So you walk straight through there. It's unlimited food. It's unlimited drinks. It's all brought to your seat the whole time. They have waiters and waitresses there, and you're sitting. My recommendation would be call you got to call the box office, and you got to find because those aren't sold on Ticketmaster. You got to find the person. There are people that do that. Email them, and then just pick the team you want to see, because the real value there is you're literally front and center for a Major League Baseball game, right behind the catcher. You're seeing the pitches move. You're talking to, if you want to. I mean, people are having conversations with the batters on both sides all the time. So, Chris, my answer is this: it's expensive. Don't get me wrong. That's a lot of money, But if you have it as, it's like when we played Pebble Beach, like that wasn't worth it from a money standpoint.
Yeah.
You're paying $500
experience.
but it's the experience. And so I would say to everybody, because you ain't getting that at Oracle. You ain't getting that with the Giants. You can probably triple that, whatever the hell that is.
I don't think you get it at any sports in the U.S.
I think you're 100% right. But just to be able to do that one time, and the accoutrements are fun too. Anyways, it is going to be, and I think I'm just being honest here. I think the bulk of our, I don't know. I only speak for me. This is a showocracy, not a showtatorship. I'm one of three here, but the thing that interests me the most about the baseball season from a local standpoint is the Oakland Athletics. And I think a lot of the reporting we're going to be doing, a lot of the conversation that we're going to be having is going to be focused on relocation and John Fisher and the latest with that. Because once the season starts, Jason, you're going to see that crazy low attendance again. You're going to see the protests, and I think they're going to be a lot more organized this year. Not that they weren't before, but I think a lot more organized. And as they hit some of these deadlines and miss some of these deadlines coming up, this is going to start coming up to a fever pitch. And as I said before, I am no longer convinced they're leaving Oakland. I think they are, but I'm no longer convinced that that's an open and shut case. But then you have the rest of baseball.
Right.
And then the question is that what is the appetite for everybody? It's hard to put a pulse on it. Like you can be watching most Yankee games.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Like I'm in. I just have been. I've always been. I will say this, as a baseball fan, I find myself less informed about the rosters. Like, I think we've done this exercise before, and I could go, Dave, name the 90s Reds, and you could just go around the horn and do it. Absolutely. In 80s or whatever. And now it's like, hey, name a Red now, and it's like, Ellie De La Cruz. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Or pick a team, and it's far more difficult than for why could we do that in the 80s and 90s and name every player on every team? Well, not every player, but a lot of the players.
Was it baseball cards?
I don't know if it was strictly that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
Yeah, because you always wanted the full 9-player lineup.
I assume neither of the three of us are any longer in any. Are you in a fantasy baseball league?
Not usually. Sometimes. I mean, it just depends.
Currently, last. Yeah, me neither. I don't think I've been in a fantasy baseball league for
that
3
helps.
years. And honestly, maybe we should do that. We honestly should have a show fantasy league, if for no other reason, because it helps.
Yes.
Yeah. I was doing this morning. We've only got a minute, and I'm only going to give you the ones that I didn't get because they started with an initial. Okay. I'm looking at the batting leaders this year. Okay. So I'm going to give you the last name and the team, and I want you to give me their first name. Guys, I'm only giving you, I missed all of these, so I'm not trying to put you on the spot here. Harris, Atlanta.
Michael.
Very good. Chris, did you know?
No.
No. Okay. Suzuki, Chicago.
Ichiro.
No, it's
that's exactly what I thought too, but I knew it wasn't.
It starts with an S.
Saya or Seiya.
Okay.
Seiya.
Yeah.
Didn't get that one. Tucker, Houston.
Kyle.
Chris, have you known any of them yet?
I was going to say Brendan Tucker.
Brendan. Okay. Herner, Chicago.
Oh, Hoerner, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's Herner.
Yeah.
Horner.
Gosh, I can't remember.
Seems like a Phil.
Okay. Nico.
Oh yeah, okay. Nico Horner.
Yeah. Stott, Philly.
BJ. Wait, no, not BJ. Bryson,
correct.
Yeah.
And then finally, Friedel, Cincinnati.
Nick.
I said Brad. It's TJ. Okay. TJ Friedel, Cincinnati. Okay. And look,
but it would have been, Gwynn, Bob. I mean, it doesn't even matter who it is, but
we could probably, honestly, I wish I could find them. If I could go back to 90 something. I mean, my God, there's not here. Sorry. I know we got a break here. That was the top 20. Okay. I'm going to go down to 40 here, and I'm just going to go in order. I'm going to give you the last name and give me the first name.
Oh, great.
No. I actually have a lot of confidence here. This is from 2002's regular season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Ibanez, Kansas City.
Raul.
That is correct. Hillenbrand, Boston.
Shea.
Eckstein, Anaheim.
You know this.
Wait, but you know this.
Why do I have David?
Yes, correct.
Thank you.
Kotze.
Mark.
Right. Berkman.
Lance.
Bagwell.
Jeff.
Okay, this is Durham, Oakland / White Sox.
Ray,
very good. Hunter, Minnesota, center field, right field. Yeah. Floyd, Florida.
Cliff.
49. Polanco, Philly.
Placido.
And finally, Arizona, Gonzalez, the guy whose gum sold on eBay. Luis. Like, we all would have gotten the boom, boom, boom. That's 22 years ago.
Better than today.
But I only have 50 here. I guarantee you I could probably go 100 to 150.
So why is that?
I don't know. Is it generational? If you knock 22 years off of our lives right now, would we know all these guys? Or is it baseball? Like, if we had a control group here of we just picked 10 rando 20 to 30-year-old KHTK listeners and had them in this room, would they have outscored us on the 2024? I don't know. And that to me is the mystery.
Ironically, they have a really good chance.
I think they would. And by the way, we're all three paid professional sports hosts that have a historical foundational interest in baseball. And we're like, Brad Friedel. And by the way, who is Brad Friedel? Anyone know? Is that sound familiar to anybody else? Okay. We'll take a break. When we come back, Kings with 30 games to go. We'll break that down a little bit. We'll also break down my appetite because I am hungry right now. I'm going to order me some fire wings for tonight. I want to have I made enchiladas last night. It was a last minute thing. I had a couple of things I had a couple things of hamburger that I needed to use, and it was good. It was one of those look around the house. I had hamburger meat, I had flour tortillas, I had a can of refried beans, some taco seasoning. That was it. I mixed all the burger meat, the taco, and the beans. I put them in the tortillas. I folded them up, and then I put the enchilada sauce on top with some cheese. I know that sounds like enchiladas, but it was like, enchiladas. Get off of me. But I'm craving fire wings, dude. I am 100% craving fire wings right now, and it's 7:45 in the morning. That I am a fatty, but proud of craving fire wings. Here's the thing: you can order right now if you're craving it too. You say you want it for lunch. Great, that's awesome. Do it. Order now, and then you want it at noon, 11:30, 1, or if you want it for dinner, when you're going to be there. Just put in the time you're going to pick it up, skip the line. There you go. That's it. Locally owned, locally operated. They're awesome. Go to firewings.com, find the location nearest you. And, hey, tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. Fire Wings. Just wing it. 30 to go in your Sacramento Kings season. We'll break it down next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
The venue's set. Families coming in from all over. It's our quinceañera. With all the excitement, it may be easy to overlook COVID-19. It's still a risk, and that's why it's muy importante to get this season's COVID-19 shot ahead of time. It helps protect against COVID-19, which can cause severe illness and hospitalization. So let's set the date, vaccinate, and celebrate. Learn about a vaccine option and book this season's updated COVID-19 shot today at schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hi, I'm Jade, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit is the savoriness of the sausage, the fluffiness of the egg, and the butteriness of the biscuit. It's amazing. The perfect start to my day.
Hi, everyone. It's Justin. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit is the fluffy egg, the melted cheese, and the sizzling sausage. It's the start to your morning that you didn't know you need.
Order a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit and Simply Orange juice on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Toyota's President's Day sales event ends Monday. Now is your chance to save big with President's Day deals on legendary Toyota trucks. Don't miss out. Right now, get $750 cash back on the powerful 2024 Tundra, or see your dealer for details on the all-new redesigned 2024 Tacoma. Hurry in. Toyota's President's Day sales event ends Monday. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium-ready credit. Excludes TRD Pro. Ends 3/4/24.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense. Can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light, Garner Roofing, and Roseville Kitchen and Bath.
Place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
I still feel like I'm getting worked here online.
For?
Okay. Well, because I just saw this clip online. Let me catch you guys up. Sorry. Saw this clip on Twitter of Kanye West Super Bowl commercial. Jason, I've already asked you. You didn't see it. Chris, did you see a Kanye West Super Bowl commercial?
No.
Okay. So I'm reading this from the Hollywood Reporter here. It says, not all Super Bowl viewers saw the commercial as the spot didn't air in all markets. It's unclear exactly where it aired, though the Hollywood Reporter viewed the commercial on a Miami affiliate, but it did not air in LA. That suggests that West probably purchased the ad time on a regional basis, meaning he didn't spend the full $7 million. It's funny because this being based on $7 million, Kanye, and by the way, the commercial is Kanye West holding his cell phone up at night in the car, talking into his phone for 30 seconds about go to this website and we have some shoes and some stuff. I mean, legit. Like, that's what he did. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but I'm looking at a receipt from his team. There was obviously a $0 production budget. But if you, for the 30-second slot, paid $7 million, according to this, it generated Yeezy brand 284,357 orders, totaling $19.3 million in sales in less than 24 hours. So, yes, you can make it. I'm actually surprised more people haven't. Like, again, that's actually pretty damn genius if you think about it. Record your Super Bowl commercial on your cell phone, spending no money on the production. Then people see that on their screen. Everybody's going to be like, what the hell is this? And you've won.
Yeah.
You've won.
I guess. Yeah.
If I won the lottery, that might be something I do.
Just buy a Super Bowl commercial.
Hey, how you guys doing? Crazy game, right?
Having fun?
All right, let's get back to it.
What you eating?
What you having out there? Yeah. Is it good? Remember when Man City won?
Remember that?
Remember
that?
That?
Awesome.
That was pretty cool. Well, that just cost me $480,000 just to say the words Man City.
Yeah.
30 to go for your Sacramento Kings.
Yes. Winding down already.
Jason, did you purposely or even subconsciously put this segment in here to remind me that now that football season is over and we only have basketball, that the Kings season is winding down?
Yes.
Thank you.
That too.
I appreciate it.
And you did the baseball segment.
And I did a 17 home, 13 road.
Yeah.
And just for the record here, before it's all said and done, at the end of this trip, it will be 17 at home, 11 on the road.
Yeah.
So highly, highly favored Well, I mean, again, assuming they take care of home, which is
but the schedule's tough, as it reads here. 20 of the 30 against teams above 500.
20 of the 30 against teams above 500, including the last 2 with Phoenix, 2 with Denver, 2 more, 2 with LA with the Clippers, 2 with the Lakers as well. So I guess 2 with LA, 4 with LA if you want. The Knicks 2, Dallas 2, and 2 with the San Antonio Spurs. Last season, the Kings finished 19-11 in the final 30.
Well, if they do that again, that gets them 49 wins. That would be better than last year.
Yeah. They got the work cut out for them, though.
They do. And again, you look at some of those matchups that you play multiple times. We mentioned that Phoenix twice and a couple of LAs, Dallas, all that. These are teams, they're fighting with. And so you're trying to win tiebreakers. You're trying to get separation in the standings. The schedule is not laid out, I don't think, as that easy, but there are going to be a lot of home games. And I think they were doing a pretty good job earlier this year of establishing some home court control. If they can finish really strong at home, I think that's going to really launch them into what they hope to be a top 6 seed at least, and then a postseason berth.
The Kings, as it stands right now, and there's a lot of different ways to break this down, but just as far as winning percentage, the Kings have the 5th toughest schedule in the NBA remaining. Their opponents average a .523 winning percentage. The only teams with a tougher schedule, Milwaukee, surprisingly, being in the East, then Portland, San Antonio, Phoenix, actually, with the toughest schedule. When you look at games remaining for Sacramento on the easy side, you mentioned the 2 with San Antonio, 1 with the Wizards, 1 more with the Blazers, although, we saw what happened there. Grizzlies 1, Toronto 1, and Brooklyn 1. But then, as you said on the other side, in addition to everything else, you said they also have 1 more with the Wolves, the Thunder, and the Celtics each, and the Bucks on top of all the other ones you mentioned there too. So they've got the work cut out.
Yeah, they're going to earn it. They're going to earn it if they get there. They've got to play their best basketball, and that's what you want to at the end of the year.
Sure.
Stay healthy, play well, and have yourself as set up as possible. And I'm not saying it starts with tonight because they've kind of been in this stretch for a while, but
it starts with tonight.
But tonight can take them a long way. At least it can win the season series with the Suns,
which could very well be very, very big. Frankie Cartelli is going to join us next. We'll break a lot of that down. Look at really I love what we call it the second half, but it's really the final third. We'll talk about that. Speaking of, by the way, we were talking about baseball and everything. There's always our guy. It's got to be Paul. That's just spamming our text line with NASCAR season. Duel at Daytona, February 15th. Daytona 500, February 18th. I'll just say this, brother. I wish I could get into NASCAR. It would be something. It would give me something else it would give me something to talk about. I promise you, I wish I could get into NASCAR. I don't know how the hell you talk about NASCAR. I really don't. Well, he got the pole, and that Chevy, that Best Buy Chevy car's been looking real good. And he's good at this course.
That's how you do it.
But look out. Here comes AJ Dungledinger, and he's going up against probably some dude named Petty or Bush. I wish, dude. I promise you. Cole Trickle.
Yeah.
Who's the other one? Rowdy. Just saw that over the weekend.
Rowdy Piper.
Yes. Rowdy Gaines.
We'll take a break. Is it Rowdy Gaines? No, that was the pool guy. The swimming pool guy.
The former swimmer.
When we come back, Frankie Cartelli is next.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
And here's Purdy going to throw one deep, wide for Debo. Made the catch on the back shoulder. Touchdown! San Francisco!
And a back shoulder banger for Debo Samuel.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
It's O Rewards Bonus Points Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Shop in-store or online to earn points and get rewarded at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
When the unexpected happens, trust AutoAccident.com. Loyalty and compassion set them apart. They're with you every step of the way. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Thunder, feel the thunder. It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Get ready for an exciting drive in the 2024 Kia Forte GT line, now at Elk Grove Kia for just $19,988. Experience efficiency with an impressive 39 mpg, smooth rides with automatic transmission, and stay on track with a lane departure warning system for only $19,988. Enjoy modern conveniences with its huge 10.25-inch touchscreen with navigation and a rear camera, Bluetooth wireless technology, and the ease of push-button start for only $19,988. Or lease this incredible ride with no cash out of pocket for only $279 per month plus tax. You heard right. No money down and only $279 plus tax. Elk Grove Kia, where driving dreams come true. Visit us today in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovekia.com.
Sale price $20,738. Dealer choice rebate $750. Net price $19,988. Must finance through Kia Finance 5 at this price. 24 months with zero cash down. Residual of $63,950 based on 10K per year. 20 cents a month over 0 security deposit. Kia Tier 1 approval required. Expires 2/15/2024.
Elk Grove Kia.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Nibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Correction, Paul, our guy Paul Riddle is not the one that sent the NASCAR text. He's been NASCAR-y forever. It's a guy named Mark. Well, hello, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
And again, I really wish that we could get into NASCAR. Try. I watch the Daytona 500 every year. I try to because we do our little fantasy game at home.
Oh, there you go.
Where we each pick like 10 drivers and make up our own rules, and it keeps us some kind of interested. And then we lose interest about 100 laps in.
Okay.
And then we regain interest with like 10 to go. And then we lose interest after the 9th caution. And then we wonder why the biggest event is at the beginning of the year. And there you go. What I have never lost interest in, though, is talking to our good friend, Frankie Cartelli, who joins us right now. Sactown Sports Insider. We'll start with this, Frankie. This just in. The night might have just gotten even more difficult for the Sacramento Kings as the Phoenix Suns are adding Thaddeus Young to their lineup. Does this turn the tables for you, Frankie?
Earth-shattering moves going on around the league. No, Thaddeus Young, man, still kicking it. I think he's got to be in his late 30s by now. He's been around I was like in high school, I think, when he was playing for like New Jersey. I think, they were Brooklyn at the time, maybe just gone to Brooklyn recently, but Thaddeus Young, lefty stroke. I mean, maybe he'll help him out, maybe not, but I want to know how you're doing, Dave, after the Super Bowl loss. Did you take it okay? I mean, I have a lot of Niner fan friends that are still recovering, just still going through the motions. Are you doing okay, man?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll answer your question with a question because Jason knows and Chris knows, but I'm going to ask you, Frankie. I'm just going to turn that back on you. Your best guess, Frankie, how do you think I took it?
I think you've gone through enough. You've taken enough lumps. I think that you probably took it in stride. Just how I personally think. I think you probably took it in stride.
Yeah. Chris?
I think you're doing okay.
Chris, why don't you turn your mic on real quick?
All I could hear was Chris laughing.
Yeah, that's all I could hear. Chris, how accurate would you say Frankie was?
Probably about 15%. I think the part he got right is you've gotten through a bunch of teams losing.
That is true. I am still alive.
Yeah.
And a bunch of teams have lost that I love. But no.
I'm giving you too much credit. I'm giving you too much credit.
Way too much.
I have faith in you.
No, I spiraled down into a world of a typhoon of unmitigated depression, riding home with my child from the Super Bowl party, wondering why I put so much faith and effort into people I've, for the most part, never met, never will. Why do I build my career and my life around this? And when it's all said and done and I'm on my deathbed, am I going to look back at the 70, 80, God knows how many years, hopefully I live on this earth, and go, what an absolute waste that you spent rooting for these grown men millionaires playing with balls, talking about them playing with balls all day. And it has absolutely no real world effect whatsoever, but it can get you so emotionally downturned.
So he's doing great.
I'm doing fine, Frankie.
Yeah, you sound great. No, I think that we kind of all have to go through that. I mean, there's in all sports, whether there's 32 or 30 teams, I guess, but in football, baseball, basketball, there's usually 29 losers. And I think we all kind of have to ask ourselves that question, why do we do this to ourselves? But then as soon as those off-season moves start happening, the juices get flowing again and the schedules come out, and we'll see you again in a couple of months. But my heart does go out to all Niner fans. I had some friends that took it very rough. Tears even. Very, very rough. But heart goes out to all Niner fans.
No smashing of TVs. I've seen some of that stuff out there.
Nothing was smashed. I didn't break anything. Okay. I told the guys I got a little teared up when I played the Champions League theme yesterday because it always gets me. But other than that, it's fine. It's just, it's tough for me to, it's like, it's like experiencing like I mean, look, a death in the family is worse. Well, actually,
wow,
hold on a second. I think it depends on the relative. Here, let me explain this.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Yeah.
No. I'm going to try to be honest here. If I have like a great uncle who's in his mid to late 80s that I see like once every 4 years at reunions, the pain of him passing versus the Niners, I think the Niners would actually be worse. I truly do, because like they're old. You don't see them a lot. Like you had your experiences. It's not like it was your mom or dad or something. Like I think I would equate it. Yes, Frankie, I would equate it to a relative 80 or above dying is probably less painful than the Niners losing.
That's fair. I mean, you can't help how you feel. That's how you feel.
Can't help how I feel. Jason?
Same how he felt after the Kings lost to the Thunder. Is that right?
Yeah, that was more. I have not cared less about a Kings loss than I did that day. Like people wanted to talk about it on social media afterwards. I'm like, I don't care. Can we play the football game, please? Right. Like this is a one time a year. I don't care about. They lost to Thunder. I don't care.
Well, Frankie, maybe the question is, how do you think Mike Brown's doing today?
Man, I mean, pretty tough. That's a very tough day for the Kings and Mike Brown especially. And I think it goes past. I mean, a bunch of people I talked to at the game before the Kings went on the road trip against Denver. I was asking some people what were their plans going to be for the Super Bowl, and a lot of people I was talking to were surprised. They're like, this is a Kings game. I'm kind of just gonna put it in the back of my mind and kind of check the score because they just can't focus on anything other than the Niners. So it was honestly a game that was kind of a classic, just Kings we've seen the Kings go wire to wire and wins before. This was kind of a classic Kings wire to wire loss. I mean, they made a run late in the fourth and kind of the things got interesting, but they never slowed down OKC. OKC really just never relented on their offensive attack. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, just again, another effort from him that proves why he deserves to be in the MVP race. Another game for De'Aaron Fox, who continues to struggle on the offensive end. Just kind of still lacks that explosiveness that we've seen from him. Just kind of was an effort from the Kings that defense was really what kind of determined that one. Obviously, the offense kicked into gear in the second half. They went 6 of 12 from 3 in the fourth. They made a run, but too much damage early, and just another kind of game where you have to kind of scratch your head and say this is the roster that they have, and the defensive improvements weren't there. They didn't get made, and another loss. But you got to turn the page and look ahead to the upcoming schedule because it doesn't get any easier.
What was different in that game, for example, than their previous success in Oklahoma City? Was there anything that stood out to you?
I mean, really just the defense. I mean, what we saw from Oklahoma City at Golden One Center, those 2 wins, I mean, the offense never really looked like that. I mean, Oklahoma City had its moments, but they really just – you see all these guys down the list. I mean, Jalen Williams had a big night. Obviously, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had a big night. Lou Dort was knocking down big shots. Like, there just wasn't really any break. I mean, the Kings really never got that stretch where OKC went really cold, maybe early in the fourth or at the end of the third, but just they always found a way to find offense. And that's kind of what you want to see more from the Kings. And the Kings really have proven they can do that before, mostly last year, where it was a bunch of different guys beating on every single night. But you see games like the other night, and Malik Monk had a huge night. Outside of Malik, there wasn't really any other guy that kind of popped and had a big game. I mean, Domantas Sabonis does what he does every single night. I think we're at the point now where, as ridiculous as it sounds, you can chalk him up for 18, 12, and 10. Like, that's ridiculous, right? But he's doing what he can. Keegan Murray had a decent game. He was getting going as well. The Kings probably should have gone to him more. I think the Kings need to do a better job of riding the hot hand when a particular guy has it going, whether it's Fox. Obviously, Keegan Murray, though, and Harrison Barnes are 2 guys that if their offense is really working, you want to take advantage of that and keep feeding those guys while they're in a rhythm. And they just didn't really do that, obviously. Malik Monk's someone who's been playing very well after he played a really rough stretch. His roughest stretch as a King, followed by his best stretch as a King. This is the first time in Malik's Kings career he scored 20 points or more in 3 straight games. So very encouraging set from him. But you want to see the Kings kind of find that hot hand and keep going to him. And no one really could get it going outside of Malik on Sunday.
Frankie, the Kings have been relatively healthy here lately, except for the news with Sasha. Kind of was back in the lineup and then out again. What's the latest with him?
Yeah, Brendan and I talked to Sasha at shoot-around on, I think that was Wednesday Friday when they were playing Denver, and he said he was feeling fine. I think that's kind of just what you see from athletes when they're coming back from injuries. They get to a point where they feel like they can give it a go, and they do, and they feel like they come out of it okay. But with ankle injuries, they're tricky. I mean, most things in basketball, those nagging injuries are. But he told us he felt fine, and he came out of that first game back totally feeling okay. And it sounds like he re-aggravated it during practice on the off day on Saturday, and we don't know what happened with that or how that looked. But from what we know, on Friday he seemed fine. Seemed like he was moving around well. He was cutting off ball well, doing those kind of movements that you usually look for with an ankle injury. And the offense has always been there for Sasha. We've seen him knock down shots. He looks good on offense, and I think it would have been nice to see him kind of get more run here in the second half of the season. And he still could. I think that this break does come at an ideal time with the All-Star break, as far as he'll get a full week plus off, and then he can come back and maybe see how he feels. But because that's kind of what we're hearing is that he's going to take the All-Star break and see how he feels when he comes back. But definitely was something that kind of popped up over that off day because he was feeling fine on Friday.
Frankie Cartelli, our Sactown Sports Kings insider, joining us. We were talking earlier today. This is the second of 3 road games in Phoenix because of the in-season tournament this year. And we know all about the historic 32-8 run, biggest blown lead in that situation, over 1,200 NBA games. But the bottom line is the Kings are 2-1 and really should be 3-0 against Phoenix. Can we use their past success at all to feel optimistic about tonight, or do you feel like this is a completely different Suns situation?
I think we can feel confident as far as the Kings have matched up well against Phoenix, but again, the circumstances have changed. I mean, we're getting later in the season, and these games just have a lot more feeling to them. And obviously, Phoenix has guys like Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, who've been there before and played in big games. But I mean, this is a game that the Kings really need to buckle down and try to win because, like you said, having that tiebreaker, winning 3 out of 5, and again, the Kings are playing Phoenix 5 times this year because of that in-season tournament. They added on an extra game when they got eliminated. That's big. If they can go 3 for 5, that's big. Obviously, with the standings too, the Kings can jump back in the top 6. A lot of reasons why this game is important tonight. And again, that's kind of where we are in the year now. I mean, once we get back from the All-Star break, it's a home stretch. I mean, these are big games. Obviously, you have Denver tomorrow, which is a brutal back-to-back. They have to hop on a plane and fly to Denver and play the Nuggets, who have been the Western Conference's best home team this year. But I think as far as Phoenix goes, the Kings have matched up well against them. They've proven that they can slow down that offense. And their offense right now, it's really, they're firing all cylinders over the past 10 games. I got it right here. 123 points per game on 55% shooting from the field, 39%, excuse me, from 3. So this is a team that's really going to be able to get you buckets. And with all the offensive weapons that they have, the Kings are going to have to, they can't repeat Sunday's mistake. They can't let an offense with a lot of weapons get hot. And again, like you said, that just scarring run from the last time the Kings played, you have to hope that can't be replicated. I don't think that'll be replicated. I think that the Kings will hopefully learn from that going forward. But a tough matchup. And again, with these two teams as well, you got to get this tiebreaker, I think, as far as where teams are in that 5 through 7 range. There's too many teams in the mix right now for those last 2 playoff spots, and the Kings really want to get ahead of Phoenix because you don't want to run into them later in the season and have that game mean even more. So big one tonight. We'll have to see how it unfolds, but the Kings match up well against Phoenix.
That is Sactown Sports Kings insider Frankie Cartelli. Read him, see him, hear him, love him, and he will have all your coverage along with us of tonight's game on your home of the Kings. 7 p.m. tip-off. Phoenix favored by 5.5 in this matchup. Appreciate you, Frankie. We'll talk to you soon, brother.
Thank you, guys. Dave, hang in there, man. Hang in there.
I will do my best. The best thing to say to me, by the way. We'll take a break. When we come back, Sean Salisbury, and we will go right where we want to. Post-mortem, Super Bowl, Chiefs, Niners, next.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
The venue's set. Families coming in from all over. It's our quinceañera. With all the excitement, it may be easy to overlook COVID-19. It's still a risk, and that's why it's muy importante to get this season's COVID-19 shot ahead of time. It helps protect against COVID-19, which can cause severe illness and hospitalization. So let's set the date, vaccinate, and celebrate. Learn about a vaccine option and book this season's updated COVID-19 shot today at schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This year, Dell Technologies wants to help you do amazing things with their best tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting,
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
I make it a point. It's no secret how much I love Sean Salisbury, how much I love him on the show, how much I love to talk to him every week. And I do, and I am. I'm just not happy with today's subject matter. But, you got to do a postmortem, right?
Yeah. And it's not Sean's fault.
Not at all. It's just, it's like we were just talking about the loss of a loved one. And I get this is sports and all that, but it's like, then you have the phone call with your brother where you talk about the memories of Grandpa Joe, and it's a bittersweet conversation. Right. Yeah, that type of thing. We'll bring him in right now. Good morning, Sean. How are you?
I'm good, guys. How you doing, man? Yeah, it does suck to have the if you're on the loss side of this thing. There's no doubt.
Sean, would you say? Let me just back up and ask you. You have the other overtime game. When the Falcons blew that lead to the Patriots, and I'm sure there's others, but where would you rank just from a play standpoint and entertainment standpoint overall? Where would you rank Sunday's game?
The first half was a little mid, as the kids say. But if you like defensive, both defenses getting after it, some 3-and-outs, where you start to think, damn, every single snap is going to be this is going to be one of those 13-10 games. I would have never thunk it. Bob Greasy's Miami Dolphins type game. But as it started to roll and we kicked into the second half, the stars shine, and they did what they did, and hell, what was the over under 47.5?
Yeah.
So it ranks. It's obviously that I've seen better, more exciting performances, but the finish, we always want last possession finishes. You got it. So I thought it was maybe I look at it different from a former, as a former player, but I thought it was a hell of a game because I wasn't just looking at the entertainment value, the depth of like Spagnola's ability to blitz at the right time and not get away from it. Kyle probably getting a little too cute at times and not making sure McCaffrey was constantly, if I'm going to go 3-and-outs, I want to go 3-and-outs and kill some clock. And I love Kyle. The pressure that now he's going to be under for the next time. I mean, I take all that into the game. I was entertained, and I thought it was there were some great plays, but I thought it was just a grinded out good football game. Do you look back and say 6 to 8 plays were the difference?
Yeah, and Sean, it didn't feel like there was one thing. It never is, right? In a team sport, you could go to any play. But as the Niners have to sit on this, I mean, they're the ones that have to dwell, and it stinks for them, but they're going to stew on it for an off season. What do you think collectively they will be thinking of most as to why they didn't hoist the trophy?
Well, first off, it's Kyle's draw of the fact that he gets Brady and Mahomes every time he's in these cities. Yeah. That's the first problem, is you got to face and put Joe Montana in there, and you're facing two guys that it doesn't matter. You could have 15 cats on the field at the same time on defense, and trying to stop those guys is just different, even though I thought both defenses played damn good. As far as 49ers go, you'll look, and they're going to look at stuff that even we wouldn't even talk about. Were they on the last? I'll give you 3 or 4 instances real quick. On the last snap, I even forget them. We'll get to it, I'm sure, about not knowing about the overtime rules. But on the last snap down there when they won in overtime, when the clock was going 8-7, you tell me you weren't thinking like, there's no way Mahomes, they're just trying to draw them off. They're going to wait till the quarter ends, and we're going to get to a 6th quarter and go play at the other end. Did you not think? I did. It got down to 7. The motion started. So if I was a defensive player, don't draw off sides. I would have got my thought would have been, they're not snapping it, so don't get too over anxious. And then you're sitting on your heels, and then they run a quick flat, and you're done. They'll look back and say, were we really ready for what we were going to get there, or were we thinking next play, other end of the field? I thought the not blocking Chris Jones in the red zone, down there when you had a wide open flat route and Purdy couldn't set his feet, that if you're not going to block somebody, make sure it's not Chris Jones. You have to block him. You got to work inside out. To leave that guy unblocked and have a free run was basically inexcusable and created by some of Spagnola's stuff. And the extra point, even though Moody was phenomenal, the extra point miss, well, that got us to overtime in the long run of it. So they'll be there, and there's going to be a missed throw or a missed hole, a penalty where you got 3rd and 4, and then all of a sudden it's 3rd and 9, and now you got to get down the field. I thought there were some brilliant play calls and some really good stuff. I mean, how about the throw from Jennings to McCaffrey after taking a hit? I mean, great stuff. But they'll look back. It won't be, and you're right, it's not one play. It'll look back at about 6 to 8, 10 plays and say, if I'd have just executed a little better, and you can't go 3-and-out. You can't keep giving 15 chances. And when you do that, and their defense was really good, 49ers and Chiefs, the great ones will make you pay. And eventually we saw Mahomes and Kelsey did that, and getting other people involved in the Hardman touchdown.
Sean Salisbury with us. It took Andy Reid.
Special teams, Dave. I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're right.
It wasn't a muffed punt. It was a hit somebody else. He tried to field it. You say, well, just jump on it. But that part of the special teams, you give them the short field and they score the next play. And you probably, another thing, even though you like the field goals when they're from long distance, when you cross midfield, when you're playing Mahomes, you got to score touchdowns. Field goals aren't good enough.
And you look at Andy Reid, for example, and it took him quite a long time, including some heartbreaks in the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl loss. He didn't do it until he got to the Chiefs. And so Shanahan's got a way to go. But once upon a time, that was the knock on Andy Reid, very similar to what we're talking about with Kyle Shanahan right now. But is it too simplistic, Sean, because you had miscues on both sides. I think I counted 5 different mishandlings or out-and-out fumbles, not to mention the multiple low snaps that Mahomes was getting. When you look at the back and forth, Sean, am I being simplistic by saying these are about as evenly matched of 2 teams as you could possibly have? The difference is the Sonics ran into Jordan, the Jazz ran into Jordan, and the 49ers are running into Patrick Mahomes. It's just that enough Mahomes to get them over the hump.
Mahomes and Reed's ability to always seem to calm people under pressure. Yeah. Hey, I don't know if it's but it's close to being that simple. Listen, we're not playing golf and tennis, but let's be real. If an average quarterback or a good quarterback, the 49ers win, even by McCaffrey laying it down in the red zone, which, listen, that guy's such a freak show talent. Crap's going to happen, and early in a game, the nerves are flying and people trying to punch it out. Yeah. You run into a guy who's the greatest player in the world right now. And he's also even better. In like the first half, Purdy outplayed him, I thought, for 3 quarters. It just came down to the guy somehow, whatever it is, and we can't teach it, guys. We can't buy it. You can't manufacture it. You can't overcoach it or undercoach it. Some guys have all that you can fix, the tangible stuff, but there's also the DNA that the temperature of the game never bothers him, and it bothers others on both teams. It just does. So that's part of it. And you're exactly right. They are extremely evenly matched. And Purdy, they proved that he is a guy, a dude. We know Mahomes is. And you get great players on both sides battling it out. Kelsey, they had him shut down, then he turned it on. And then McCaffrey, fumbles the ball and goes 80-80, meaning running and receiving, rushing and receiving. So everybody, the stars will rise. And then you'll get guys like Jennings who step up and play really good football, and a name that we don't expect to be a semi-hero or Moody in a game. So, yeah, it does. If you play a good quarterback, you beat him. You play Mahomes, you're eventually going to get – he's going to get you and you knew on that last drive that it almost felt like, oh, gosh, here we go. I'm talking about the overtime drive, let alone the other stuff. You just knew that guy got the ball in his hands last. There's a really good chance, unless somebody else turns it over, a receiver, a running back, that he was going to do everything necessary to give them a chance to close it out.
Talking with Sean Salisbury. Sean, I want to ask you as a player, that any play, you could get hurt. It's the nature of the sport. But what's the shock to the system when an emotional leader, a physical player like Greenlaw gets hurt the way he did? I mean, everybody's just gutted for that. Now, they have to go on and play, but what's that like for the Niners, seeing that in real time and having to continue to play?
Well, it's going on. You're calling the plays, and you're Steve Wilkes, and then you're the overall head coach and Kyle Shanahan. You can't. What you got to do is you just got to keep rolling. And you mentioned it, but let's face facts. First of all, the most devastating thing for me in that game, and I don't care if you bet big money on the game and you had the 49ers, what Dre Greenlaw speak through this week and his thoughts when he left the field. For a guy who was a hell of a player, you needed him in this matchup. I'm not saying that's the only reason they lost, but make no mistake, their defense weakens when that guy's not on the field. And to have it happen, listen, you can accept injuries in play. It happens. It's physical. You mentioned violent sport. But for it to happen like that, with all the blood and sweat and tears you put on it, your teammates, you're fired up, you know the matchup, it's early in the game, and that happens, I was brokenhearted for him. I still am. And as a teammate, you're like, I got to raise my game. And then it hits after the game. You don't, unfortunately or fortunately, have time to think about that during the game. But I guarantee they're thinking about this week. And I couldn't be more sick for Dre Greenlaw and what happened to him, not getting a chance to go out and show his stuff. And who knows, it might have made a difference. And you're right, Kyle Shanahan. I had a guy on my show say today that Kyle Shanahan's window's closed. And we talked about the Andy Reid comparison. It's not closed at all. They're still going to be the favorite in the NFC to be in the Super Bowl next year. They just got to get it fixed in the second half of a Super Bowl game.
That's Sean Salisbury. I squinched my nose at Chris because I know we're up against the break, but God, I have so much more to talk to you about, and we'll finish this up and post-mortem this incomplete next week as well. Appreciate you, Sean. Appreciate your insight as always, my man. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right, take care. That is Sean Salisbury. Yeah, we could talk an hour with him about all that. We'll take a break. When we come back, 4 Down Territory Future Edition and Past. We'll talk about that. We'll do that next. podcast.
The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sactown Sports.
Herter's open, steps into three. He's got the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Tuesday starts out quite cool. We will see a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day ahead, along with light winds. Today looks and feels a lot like yesterday. Plan for highs in the lower 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let's fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $67. Plumbing, sewer, electric, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and me the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Jiffy Lube, your place for oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light, Garner Roofing, and Roseville Kitchen and Bath.
Play and win with rewards that soar at Sky River Casino in Elk Grove. Sign up for Sky River Rewards and you'll get $20 free play to use on your first visit. Plus, you'll be the first to know about upcoming special events and offers. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the newly designed Callaway Chrome Tour line of golf balls, offering outstanding tour performance. From cover to core, Chrome Tour is the new gold standard tour ball for players who want the best in distance and feel. Chrome Tour is engineered for outstanding performance with exceptional speed, consistent flight, incredible spin, and greenside control. Ask about the full line of Callaway Chrome Tour golf balls at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Book your free T-check and free exam at Revive Men's Health Sacramento. Now also offering affordable, cutting-edge weight loss medications. Call 916-277-8599 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the hot new Callaway Paradigm AI Smoke line of drivers, fairways, hybrids, and iron sets that are sweeter from every spot. AI Smoke is designed with thousands of real player data and a revolutionary new AI Smart Face for sweet spots across the entire face. Ask about the full line of Callaway Paradigm, AI Smoke woods and irons and find your sweet spot at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
before we get into 4 down, it's to this day and age, you have to pay attention to the stuff on social media when it comes to the athletes. This is allegedly Brandon Ayuk's girlfriend, I believe, on her Instagram story. I'll just play this the old-fashioned way.
Well, okay, this might have been the last day we touched foot on Levi Stadium, me and Braylon, because we might not be out here next season.
Okay. So there's that. Thank you. And then apparently his best friend posted to his Instagram, quote, "This is the exact reason why we're leaving San Francisco. Thank you, 49ers, for drafting my brother. We are forever grateful. BA to Vegas." And then also, why does your all-pro 1,300-yard receiver have 3 catches in the Super Bowl? Same guy. And now, apparently, Brandon Ayuk on his Instagram story, let me bring that up. I know this is whatever, but what are you going to do? Says, don't forget what got you there. I mean, I don't know.
Was it Brandon Ayuk that got you there?
Partly.
I don't know. Same with McCaffrey and Kittle and Debo.
Yeah.
And Brock.
Yeah.
And the defense and the special teams. And
also a very interesting back and forth last night, afternoon, evening, that a lot of us may have caught. Some of us did. So a guy on Twitter is showing the picture. In fact, Sean Salisbury was talking about the play where Niners near the end zone.
Yeah.
Purdy's dropping back, just Chris Jones completely unblocked. So this guy says Colton McKivitz is one of the best players in the game lined up in front of him, and he decides to give him a free rush to Brock Purdy. Sickening. Jonathan Feliciano quote tweets that and says, "I know you know all, so you should know that that's not Colton's guy." So then somebody responds, just a rando, is like, "Well, whose guy was it? You got to at least give him a quick chop." Feliciano says, "A quick chop is not needed if the guy that was supposed to block him blocks him." So obviously Feliciano's saying, this ain't on McKivitz. You're all blaming McKivitz. That wasn't his guy to block. He's saying this on social media yesterday. Spencer Burford then chimes in a few hours later and goes, "Geez, I open up my app to this. Get well soon, bro," to Feliciano. To which Feliciano says, and I'm quoting here, "I'm sorry, bro. I woke up hungover and being a B word and trying to have one's back, Colton. I hurt you. It's effed up and I apologize. You got nothing but greatness ahead of you. I'm sorry, bro." So drama aside, it's always interesting to see the unfiltered because according to Jonathan Feliciano, that wasn't McKivitz's guy.
Right.
That was Spencer Burford's guy.
And a little finger pointing and this kind of thing. I mean, very emotional. It's like, that's why I would always say for athletes, like you don't make big announcements the day out. Like you just played about the most emotional game you could possibly have. Today is probably a little better, even if it's marginally. Next week will be better, and so on and so forth. They'll never get over this. I mean, that was a painful loss.
Yes.
But it just gets less emotional as it goes along.
It 100% does. Maybe just close off social media for 72 hours after the
good
game.
idea.
4 down territory. Christopher Laud, take it away.
The 49ers have opened up as betting favorites to win Super Bowl 59. Would you bet that?
I mean, yeah. Just because, I mean, depending, I don't know what the number is. I don't think there's going to be like amazing value there.
Yeah, the value is the problem.
Yeah, I don't think there's.
But I understand.
I get it too. Again, I'm just going to say this. I've said it before. It's the Chuck Liddell rule I've told you about. I'm not betting against the Chiefs till they lose. Not doing it. How are the Chiefs not the favorites? I understand they got to work Chris Jones' contract out and a few others, but they got Patrick Mahomes. And Patrick Mahomes won this game with Marquez Valdez-Scantling, a rookie wide receiver.
McCole Hardman,
a guy who was activated to be in the backfield the day of the game or the day before. Like, what do you need, guys? Because a lot of those guys are going to get swapped out. Chiefs won't look the same next year in many aspects, but who cares? It's the same thing Tom Brady did. You can take these professional players that aren't outstanding but know their jobs and will be good teammates, and morph them into guys that you can, look, is Kelsey coming back? Yeah, okay. Is Mahomes coming back? Yeah, okay. I'm sure they'll work it out with Chris Jones. I can't imagine they don't. And if for some reason they don't, I'm sure there'll be another person on his back coming in. But to me, the Kansas City Chiefs are the favorites to win the Super Bowl next year, and they're the favorites until the day they're eliminated.
I still think the AFC top to bottom, especially the top, is better than the NFC. The Niners proved they could have won that game, and they just didn't. But they could have won the whole thing. They've been a Super Bowl caliber team for a couple of years. I think there'll be another one next year. I mean, it's really difficult to do. The Chiefs are making it look easier than it is, but it wasn't easy. And again, going back to value, I wouldn't bet it. I just don't think that's.
I'm all for them being the favorites to come out of the NFC.
Yeah, I
think that makes sense.
Yeah, they should be, I think.
They should be.
Yeah.
But
overall, that's tough.
Second down, please.
What is your favorite memory from the 2023 San Francisco 49ers season?
Honestly, I could pick a bunch. And I'm not going to do the name off thing. I'm not going to screw you over here, Jason. We'll talk after the fact. But I was on a plane to England, JetBlue, and did not think I was going to be able to watch the game. And the one sports channel they had, which was Sky Sports, had the game. To my surprise, like, what a euphoric feeling. Cowboys, Niners, Sunday Night Football. Game started literally as we were taking off, like wheels up, kickoff. And I got to sit there going over the Atlantic from JFK and watch, good half the trip across the Atlantic was watching my Niners just beat the devil out of those Dallas Cowboys. So when you combine how hot the Cowboys were, they had that loss to Arizona, but still they were everybody's, oh, look out. And then the Niners just absolutely dog walking them. And the fact that I was really happy to get it on a plane, I would say that was the most fun I've had all season.
I think for me, I mean, there is a lot, like you said. I think it's the NFC Championship game with the Lions.
Yeah, that was my second choice.
They had already come back the week before. And this was actually multiple times I went, oh, man. Like, we had the crew going to Vegas. I'm thinking Super Bowl. Yeah. I'm like, shoot, they're not going to make it. Like, It just felt like, wow, Detroit, I don't know. It's just maybe it's not the Niners, but their comeback, the energy, the stadium looked like it was just bananas. That game was ridiculous.
It'd be an interesting question for Niners fans. I know what the answer would be, but would you have rather lost to the Lions to not have the pain against the Chiefs?
I mean, to me, I think it's no, but
I said that was second. That was number 3. Lions game was number 3 for me. Actually, second for me was going into Philadelphia and just beat the hell out of the Eagles. Going into Philly after everything that happened in the playoffs.
Yeah.
All the hype leading up to that. Remember, Philly was coming off a 10-1, and they just go in there and just, dog race, boat walked.
All of it.
They pooped on the logo in midfield and smeared it into the grass, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. That was really fun.
Fall Eagles fall.
Fall Eagles fall. By the way, Eagle fan out there I think they're more happy about the Niners losing the Super Bowl than some of them are them winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, if you weren't there, you shut up. That should be the rule. You're not allowed to talk unless you're in the Super Bowl. I'm sure that everyone would go with that one.
Yeah.
Third down.
What is your least favorite memory from the 2023 San Francisco 49ers season?
Well, let me think. 48 hours ago. The loss in the Super Bowl. By far. Not close. Nothing is
Can I give you an option?
Sure.
There is nothing bigger than that. But well, maybe you felt this, like, literally, I was sick to my stomach with Greenlaw. I could not believe that.
That was
it's the same game.
Yeah.
But you just go, I can't believe that just happened.
That was one of those, like, oh, God, is this one of them omens?
Yeah.
Like, when everything is not going our way.
And literally when Nance came back from the break, like, if you could put a life pause, like, you're not going to believe what just happened. And if he paused and everybody feels it, I wouldn't have said, like, I don't know what I would have thought, like a streaker or the lights went out again in the Super Bowl.
There was a streaker, too, yeah.
Or, like, I would not have guessed that happened.
I had a chicken wing in my mouth, like one of them legs. I will never forget. I just bit down on it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they start showing the replay and I caught it. And about 30 seconds later, I realized that the end of the chicken leg was hanging out of my mouth like a cigar. Like I just stopped chewing and was just staring in absolute disbelief while mouthing this chicken wing. And yeah, I would say of the worst part of the season, which was the loss to the Super Bowl, that was, I have to say, that was the second worst.
Yeah.
Only because there was still game left. And it was like, well, let's win one for Dre.
Yeah.
But no, Mecole Hardman touchdown. That just, I felt that in my loins.
We never talk about Hufanga's injury. I wonder if that would have made it. I mean, he was out for a chunk of the season, but
a lot of that.
Yeah.
And Debo's whatever, and Kittle. It's football. It is what it is. Fourth down.
What is your overall takeaway from the 2023 San Francisco 49ers season?
I know a lot of people really want to be upset. I know a lot, and I'm upset at the loss. I know a lot of people want to go after, Shanahan or this or that or Brock Purdy's game. Look, at risk of sounding like, as they say in England, a happy clapper, I'm really happy with this season. I'm really proud of the team. I'm really happy the way they came back from losing 3 in a row and just beating the heck out of the Jaguars. I love that they beat the Cowboys and the Eagles and arguably their 2 biggest regular season games. Baltimore at home, that sucked. The comeback versus the Packers, the huge comeback against the Lions. And then you went toe-to-toe against the dynasty. You went toe-to-toe with the dynasty, and you came up short in the longest Super Bowl in history. I'm as proud of the team as I could possibly be without them winning a championship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're a great team, and there's 30 other teams that whatever their fans want to bark all they want, there's 30 other fan bases that would trade places in a heartbeat with the Niners.
Yeah, a couple takeaways for me is I really feel for, Debo, Kittle, Armstead, Bosa, Ayuk, people that were on the team that lost before.
Right.
And know how close they got then, know how close they got this time. And they may have 5 more chances.
Right.
They may have another one. That's the hard. But the reality is it's difficult to get back there. They're good enough to get back there. I hope that's not going to be one of those groups where they go, man, these are some of the best Niner teams we've ever seen.
Yep.
And they may never win one. That's how difficult it is. The other takeaway for me, Dave, is I know as they're constructed, and my point by this is Brock Purdy can lead them to a Super Bowl. As constructed, where he's still financially paid what he is as the Mr. Irrelevant, and they can stack the roster. He can do it. They can win it. Now, I don't know the answer is as he starts to get paid more and maybe some of the talent shrinks a little bit. I think he's still going to be good.
Sure.
But like Mahomes can win it with, and now I'm comparing those two. They're not the same.
They're not.
And that's an obvious one. But where is he in the grand scheme of things? With a good roster around him, the guy can process, make throws, make plays. What's he going to be like ultimately when there's less talent around? But I don't think that's going to be the factor next year yet.
We're going to have to see him win a Super Bowl with a JV team.
Well, I don't know if he can do that.
By the way, Brian on the text line gets our stupid text of the day. I never understood why people say this. If you're not first, you're last.
They're not actually. Ricky Bobby said it.
Losing the Super Bowl means nothing. Okay, dude. You're not, so literally nothing matters. You can't take joy in anything unless you win a championship. So every year is a failure for all but one team. That is the type of I don't let people put fruit in their beer. I drink whiskey and have a 10 o'clock shadow. I have a lifted truck with a flag on it to compensate for my shorts. That type of attitude is just the most asinine walk away from sports, and I hope you don't have kids attitude. Because if you're instilling that in your kids, you're going to have some jacked up kids. I can promise you that. There's a hell of a lot more to just look. Everybody wants to win a championship. Everybody wants to win a championship. No doubt. But you're trying to tell me getting to the championship, losing to a hell of a team, you can't walk away with your head high and still be sad and disappointed? Get out of here. Go flush your head. We'll take a break. When we come back, who's hot, who's not? Well, you stick your head in the toilet and flush it. Wakes you up. Who's hot, who's not? 3 of the key. King Sun's next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-1748. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-1748. That's 800-575-1748. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Get ready for an exciting drive in the 2024 Kia Forte GT line, now at Elk Grove Kia for just $19,988. Experience efficiency with an impressive 39 mpg, smooth rides with automatic transmission, and stay on track with a lane departure warning system for only $19,988. Enjoy modern conveniences with its huge 10.25-inch touchscreen with navigation and a rear camera, Bluetooth wireless technology, and the ease of push-button start for only $19,988. Or lease this incredible ride with no cash out of pocket for only $279 per month plus tax. You heard right. No money down and only $279 plus tax. Elk Grove Kia, where driving dreams come true. Visit us today in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovekia.com. Sale price $20,738. Dealer choice rebate $750. Net price $19,988. Must finance through Kia Finance 5 at this price 24 monthly 0 cash down residual of $63,950 based on 10K per year 20 cents a mile. Reserve security deposit. Kia Tier 1 approval required. Expires 2/15/2024.
Elk Grove Kia.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch supports and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
Hey everyone, it's Joe Montana. Spreading the word about pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can be life-threatening. If you're 65 or older like me, you're at increased risk. So, what's the game plan? A strong defense. Pneumococcal pneumonia can strike at any time in any season, so you shouldn't wait to help protect yourself. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about vaccination today and learn more at knowpneumonia.com. That's KNOW pneumonia.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
God, I'm so stressed. It's a brand new year and our business is busier than ever.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Is hot.
Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, he is. Why though?
He recorded. Oh, dang it!
He recorded. Oh, dang it!
My computer's all messing up.
Yeah.
Wembanyama recorded his second triple double with
Yeah.
27 points, 14 rebounds, and 10 blocks. Wembanyama is the first player since Clint Capella to record a triple double with blocks. Yeah, that was a weird name, isn't it?
Didn't expect that at all.
Also, with the 27 points, it was Wemby's 22nd straight game with over 15 points or more. It's a streak that he just broke of Hakeem Olajuwon's, who had 21 straight of 15-point games or more.
He's a good rookie.
Yes, he is.
Can't even drink legally yet. I have an addendum to who's hot. I'm very excited about this. Remember earlier we were talking about racing and how you can't get into it. And my dad's a huge NASCAR guy.
Okay.
And he always says, like everyone else, well, you got to pick a driver. You got to pick a driver. You got to pick a driver. Well, I don't care about it. I mean, I like Kyle Larson. That's, he's from here. But
also a good tip if you want to get into soccer.
Yeah, pick a player.
Pick a team.
Pick a team, right. Oh. But I think things have changed. I officially have a driver. I have a car. Now, you think I'm joking. I am not. Because the number 84 Toyota Camry of Jimmy Johnson is now sponsored by Creed. Yeah, that's right. Creed will be imprinted on the car for the Daytona 500. Due to fan demand, Creed has extended their tour with additional 20 dates on the Are You Ready Tour banner, launching July 17th through December 5th. Of course, we'll be here in Sacramento. Jimmy Johnson said, unless you've lived under a rock, you know every word to every Creed hit. Hold on a second. The quote says, quote, unless you've lived under a rock, you know every word to every Creed hit, said Johnson jokingly. I mean, jokingly, Jimmy. In seriousness. No, what do you mean in seriousness? No, you know every word to every hit. Our partnership, blah, blah, we love Creed. They gave us money. And where he goes, I'm happy to welcome Creed with arms wide open to the club. Well, there you go. I'm rooting for the Creed car.
I'm freaking jacked.
So jacked, bro. Creed car. Isn't Jimmy Johnson like 70, though? He's not good. No, he's not good.
Not
anymore,
that Jimmy Johnson.
No, not.
Let's
like,
go.
I know it's not Coach Jimmy Johnson, but like, isn't Jimmy like over the hill for a NASCAR driver? I don't know. Is he? He's not still
over the hill.
What is
he just had?
Is
Dang
that
it, you took
blinker
it from
on?
me.
Yeah, well, no, you get older, you drive slower. You seen that? You see 71-year-old NASCAR drivers putting their blinkers on and cutting you off, driving around the oval super slow in the passing lane. I paid my taxes. No, you're not gonna see that. Good for you, James Johnson. Oh no, let's not call him that. Jimmy Johnson. All right, so that's who's hot. Jimmy Johnson and Victor Wembanyama. Well, wait, you did who's not. Wait, did you do who's not? Yeah, you did.
You don't want to know who's not, so let's just go to NBA NBC.
Okay, let's go. You're right. 3 of the key.
All right, here we go.
Now I'm going to think all day, though. Who was it? It was, I know. Was it something Ninery?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
All right, Phoenix Suns, Dave, have a big 3 in Beal, Booker, and Durant, but I'm going to say the Kings do too with Fox, Sabonis, and Murray. So we want total points from the trio of the Suns and total points from the trio of the Kings.
Ooh. All right, I will go 80 from the Suns.
Okay.
I will go 60 from the Kings.
All right. I have 74-49. Chris?
83-62.
Okay. Next up, how about made 3-pointers tonight, Dave, by the Sacramento Kings?
14.
Okay. I have 13. Chris?
15.
Wow. All right.
I was thinking 14, then you said 13, and so
you went above. All right. Dave, random stat. Something different, something weird, something odd that you expect to happen today. Predict to happen.
After further review,
oh, no.
The Mecole Hardman touchdown denied. It was a hold, and we will replay overtime. Is that too random?
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. We're facing the Suns. There will be some sort of incident, fracas, maybe minor mouthing with Devin Booker.
Incident with Booker.
Yeah. That's that could be a technical foul, but Devin Booker is gonna,
that's Chris's favorite player.
Is it really?
He's starting to get.
Yeah. He's just
starting to, Chris.
Huh? Well, I mean, we got Jaime Jaquez Jr. in there now.
Good point.
In all seriousness, he's a Kentucky guy, and so my guy's like super close with him, like at his wedding and all that. Like knows him really, really well. Yeah, and by all accounts, he's a sweetheart of a guy off the court, like just a really nice guy. But on the court, it's just punchable face.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go with Malik Monk's going to have a double-double. Chris?
Devin Booker is going to have 40 points or more.
and get into it.
I mean, I would say don't get into it with him because that's when he usually.
And that's when he starts going.
You wouldn't like him when he's angry.
Yeah, no, you would not like him when he is angry.
All right.
I'm trying to think. Was there a movie or something that I'm forgetting now that the trailer had? Not. It's not Deadpool. I saw that, but wasn't there some other movie or TV show that got announced during the Super Bowl I was excited about, but I can't remember. No, anyone ringing any bells? No.
Twisters.
Oh, is that the Nerds?
No. There was a Twister, like a new Twister.
Like a reboot.
Yeah.
Oh, are you serious? Yeah. On the one with dude and Helen Hunt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? They're redoing that?
I guess.
My favorite part about Twister, if you go back and watch it, like legit, that entire movie was a Dodge Ram commercial. Like if you go back and really think about it, the whole movie, like I don't know
how many Oscar winners were in it.
In
Twisters,
I
Helen
didn't see
Hunt.
Twister.
Oh, Helen Hunt. Wasn't the
Philip Seymour Hoffman?
No, it wasn't Frances McDormand. That wasn't the mom. I feel like there was 3. There's a third we're forgetting. It wasn't Paxton. We'll take a break. God rest his soul, but man, anytime I think about him, anytime I'm thinking about Schwarzenegger and Tom Arnold shooting at his feet and this whole explanation. Yeah. We'll take a break. Matt Barrows joins us to talk Niners next.
The Sacramento Kings are in Phoenix tonight to battle the Suns.
Malik Monk driving. Hammer time! Off the bounce, coming from the right angle. And look at the Kings fans jump to their feet.
Tip off at 7 on your home of the Kings. Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop.
With NBA League Pass, you get so much game.
Even regular season games?
Yep.
Even some of the in-season tournament?
Mm-hmm.
Can I watch home and away team broadcasts?
Oh, yeah.
Can I watch from my phone while I take a long bath?
Sure.
And if my team wins, can I stand up super fast and splash water everywhere and scream, yes, that's right?
Hey, could we get a normal fan for this commercial? Subscribe at NBA.com/League Pass today. Only select out-of-market games available and local blackout restrictions apply. Additional charges and other conditions may apply. Visit NBA.com/subscriber agreement for full terms and conditions.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with 0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
0 down with approved credit.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
All right. I guess it's going to happen all week, right? Like I said this with Sean. Like all of my favorite people who I love to talk to. Yeah, it's like commiserating with your brother about the passing of a loved one. It's fine, but it's also like, dang it. I want to be celebrating championships with Matt Barrows, who wouldn't be celebrating because he's a real journalist, but still he'd be happy. Good morning, Matt. How are you?
I'm well. I'm recovering. I'm recovering from a long week, but you're right. I'm not depressed or anything like that because I am a professional journalist.
You are very, very professional. I 100% am not. I am trying to not spiral into depression. It was a wonderful game, Matt, and let me just lead into it like this. I just saw this come across the wire because everything you read all this coverage. It's the magic of Patrick Mahomes. It's the final catch. It's Kyle Shanahan in overtime. Like all these storylines, and we keep kind of pushing like the defense was really good. I just saw this. This is insane. The 2013 Seahawks. I believe that was their Super Bowl year. We're talking about the most games in NFL history allowing less than 25 points. The 2013 Seahawks allowed 18. The 0-2 Bucks, remember that defense? 18. The 90 Giants, 18. The 2000 Ravens, 19. The 1925 Yellow Jackets, remember that swarming defense? There was really a buzz about them. Yeah, They had 19. Matt, the 2023 Kansas City Chiefs had 20 games in which they've allowed less than 25 points. Obviously, there's one more game on the schedule. I get it, but shouldn't a lot of this post-mortem be that this is in some ways an all-time great defense?
Yeah, and that's what you see when you rewatch the game, which I've done a couple of times. I mean, it's the combination, and it's simple. It's what it always is. It's the combination of good pass rush and really good coverage. And so you had Chris Jones, who was unblockable at times. They had a lot of trouble with Chris Jones. They had a lot of trouble with George Karlaftis. So those two guys alone supplied a lot of pass rushing. You had a very messy pocket for Brock Purdy. Half of his throws were under duress, which means like there was a guy in his face, a huge guy in his face on half of his throws. And then you combine that with L'Jarius Sneed, and then really Trent McDuffie stood out to me. I mean, Deebo Samuel would run a route, and it was like Trent McDuffie was showing him how to run the route. Trent McDuffie was running a better route than Deebo Samuel was. So there were no easy throws to Deebo Samuel all game. They played a lot of man coverage. So those throws over the middle that we've come to just expect from Brock Purdy, the beautiful mid to deep crossers to Ayuk, to Brock Purdy, to Deebo Samuel, those were few and far between. There were a couple of those, but mostly those weren't available to the 49ers because the man-to-man coverage, especially from Trent McDuffie, was so good, and because some of those throws were bad throws because he was throwing, he had a guy's shoulder in his face as he was following through. So I don't know. You could say, well, the protection was bad, and maybe it was bad at times, but this is what the Chiefs did to the Bills. It's what they did to the Ravens. It's what they did to the 49ers. It's just a very, very strong Chiefs team. And you're right. Patrick Mahomes gets all this credit, Travis Kelce, et cetera, but really that defense is what made that team special.
Man, I'm curious on your rewatch too, because I know watching it live, I felt like maybe the longest portion of the game where the Niners looked like the better team was early, maybe first 4 to 6 possessions. Total yards might have been something, I think, at one point like 90 to about 10 or 16, and it was 0-0. It just felt, I know, granted, McCaffrey fumbled on that first series, But it felt like maybe early the Niners really could have dictated the terms of the game more so in their favor than they took advantage of.
Yeah, that jumped out to me as well. Remember, we were talking about sort of sleepy starts against the Packers and the Lions, especially on defense. And this team was on it. I mean, they had totally gotten rid of whatever it was that was holding them back in the NFC games. And they were playing their best. I mean, they were playing really, really fantastic football. The issue is that the Chiefs almost rope-a-doped them. By the end, the game was still close, as you just noted, and the 49ers had run out of juice on defense. I mean, they were not going to stop the Chiefs. They needed and that happens in a football game. Defenses wear down. That's where you see most of the scoring. Fantasy football players all know that your fantasy guy has a very modest amount of points until the very end, and then he makes up for it in the last 5 minutes of the game. That's what happens, and that's what happened in this one as well. So, I mean, it was a fantastic start. The Christian McCaffrey fumble was big because it meant that the 49ers had no points on that really impressive opening drive. I do get the feeling, though, even if they had scored, even if they had gotten a bigger lead, this game was still going to be tight at the end. I mean, that's what the Chiefs do. That's been their MO for years, going back to their Super Bowl season 4 years ago. Patrick Mahomes was probably going to find a way to at least make it close late in the game.
Matt Barrows of The Athletic with us. Matt, we just went over this a couple segments ago. In this day and age, you have to look at social media with a grain of salt, but I don't know if you caught, I'm sure you did yesterday, John Feliciano and a couple others going at it over the idea that Colin McKivitz missed the block on Chris Jones on that very pivotal play where Brock Purdy couldn't get the ball off clean. Then Feliciano came in and alluded to the fact that it wasn't on McKivitz, it was on Burford to make the block. Number one, did you see it? Number two, do you agree with is that how you took what Feliciano was saying?
Yeah, and I think Burford also chimed in on social media and essentially took responsibility for it, saying, I think he said, I should have fanned out. He picked up the blitzer so that there was going to be a free pass rusher coming at Brock Purdy. But the guy who got there sooner was Chris Jones. So maybe if he had picked up Jones and then the blitzer came free, that would have given Purdy, the opportunity to, sidestep or do something. Who knows what would have happened? Bottom line, there would have been an extra rusher in there, but perhaps the right move was to pick up Jones and to give Purdy a little bit more time to find Juwan Jennings, who you look at that all 22 angle or the view from above. I mean, where do you have 5 yards separation? I mean, there was clear separation between him and the cornerback, and nobody between him and the pylon. So that likely would have been a TD. So we would go into sudden death if the Chiefs had scored on their possession as well. But it looks like Colton McKivitz is responsible, but really it's Spencer Burford, the right guard.
As we're talking with Matt Barrows. Matt, obviously we'll never know how it would have looked had a guy like Dre Greenlaw not suffered just the most bizarre of injuries. But what was your read on how it impacted literally the game, but maybe more importantly, just the team to have a leader like that, an emotional player, just get a freak injury?
Yeah, I thought that his backups played well. I mean, were they Dre Greenlaw? Dre Greenlaw was fantastic at the start of the game, and we were just talking about the energy with which they began that contest, and Dre Greenlaw is a huge part of that. I mean, he was making plays, and he was doing Dre Greenlaw things. Say again?
We didn't say anything. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
That must
I
have been
thought I heard a voice in my ear.
Oh,
But Oren Burks, I thought, played pretty well. Not Dre Greenlaw. I thought Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles came in, and he had a couple of nice plays as well. I didn't think that the drop-off was huge after that. Everybody kind of points to Travis Kelce's first half stats versus his second half stats. They were using an array of different coverages against him. It was something different. every time. So you can't just say that, oh, once Trey Greenlaw left the game, Travis Kelce went nuts. It was a little bit of Greenlaw early on, but they had Logan Ryan on him. They had Charvarius Moore on him. They had a lot of Deshaun Gibson, a lot of Fred Warner on him. And things that they were doing in the first half just weren't working as well in the second half. But I don't think that it was all Trey Greenlaw related.
Matt, I've seen, on the record, and I'm sure you've heard both on and obviously off the record, but, it certainly seemed like Steve Spagnuolo and the rest of the Chiefs were incredibly impressed with Brock Purdy. And it wasn't the whole gracious winners. Yeah, he's great. It seemed like he got in their heads quite a bit during the game, despite the loss.
Yeah, and I talked to Spagnuolo before. I talked to him at that media thing on the Monday before the Super Bowl, and I had asked him a question about Christian McCaffrey, and he quickly changed the subject to Brock Purdy. So you could tell that he was very impressed with Purdy. He was really impressed with Purdy's movement. Remember, they were coming off the Lions game where Purdy gouged the Detroit defense for some long runs in the second half. So I think, they were legitimately impressed. I mean, like we were just describing, they had a really good game plan. They had the pass rush plus the coverage, and yet the 49ers were still kind of in the thick of things at the very end. I think it's notable that the Super Bowl MVP threw a bad pick and, was chased around early in the game. Purdy had more pressure to deal with, and he didn't throw a pick and threw some pretty amazing passes despite a lot of people in his face. So it wasn't a great game for him. I think the defense, gave him a huge challenge. I don't think any quarterback was going to have a great game in that scenario. But like I said, I mean, he did enough to put his team within striking distance in the end. So, Mahomes was the better quarterback. I don't think anybody's disputing that. But boy, I thought that Brock Purdy stepped up. I thought that Brock Purdy looked better in that game than Jimmy Garoppolo did in the Super Bowl 4 years ago. I think that the 49ers have to be very happy with what they have at quarterback.
Matt, the seasons kind of blend together. There's really no time to rest because they're going to be on to the next one before you know it. What's kind of off-season agenda number one for Lynch to do his best part to make sure this group is back?
Yeah, I mean, it's an older group. There's no doubt about that. They were the oldest team in the playoffs. I don't know how many of those starters were in their 30s, but it's a big number. So one of the sort of big picture things is to kind of figure out how do you stay as good as you are with getting an infusion of youth, because I think that this team needs it. Chase Young had a really nice game. Randy Gregory had a really nice game. Both of those guys are free agents. I think this team needs to figure out that other defensive end position. I think that's been an issue all season. I think it's clear now that as good as Nick Bosa is, if you really want to have an elite defense, you have to have somebody else there. The Chiefs have Karlaftis and Jones. The 49ers have Bosa, and sometimes it's Eric Armstead, sometimes it's Chase Young. I think that they need a more consistent presence there somewhere along that defensive line, and probably the other defensive end spot is kind of calling out for a really consistent, good player, and that's something you need to figure out as well.
We're out of time, but Matt, I know you don't get into the odds thing, so just give me a philosophy. The Niners are the favorites to win the Super Bowl next year. Do you, based on what you just said and based on what you know about the cap and everything else, do you think it's fair to think that they should be if not one of the favorites?
I mean, the cap is what it is, and they're going to have to make some decisions, but they've accounted for next season. I mean, they can have at least most of that group back next season. So all that talent that we're talking about ought to be there. And, Brock Purdy is only going to get a little bit better. There's not going to be a regression from him. So, I mean, they should be. I will say that they did benefit from some luck this year. I know that Deebo Samuel and Trent Williams were out for 3 games together, and the 49ers lost all 3. But really, they didn't have a big, devastating injury throughout 2023, whereas they've had those in the past. So I'm not predicting it, but odds are that they're not going to have that same injury luck, have that offensive line together the whole season, et cetera, et cetera. So they did have some luck this year in that regard. You always got to wonder whether it's going to hold out 2 years in a row.
That's Matt Barrows. Matt, we appreciate you,
Yes.
my friend. We appreciate all the work you have put in for us this year, and obviously for all your readers at The Athletic. It is I was going to say the best of times and the worst of times, but there's no best here. We lost, so screw it. It's the worst of times and the worst of times, but we love you all the same, and we say goodbye to you. Obviously, we'll talk near the draft. We always check in every once in a while between now and then, but enjoy your off season, and here's to another Super Bowl run next year.
Yes, thank you very much for having me on. I really enjoyed these usual Monday talks. I know today is a Tuesday, but the questions are always fantastic, and the conversation is always great. So thank you for having me.
Well, we'll be almost. We're working on 20 years here soon, Matt. How about
That's true.
How sad
That's
is
true.
that?
Yeah, we got to celebrate our anniversary next year.
Have a great summer, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye. That is Matt Barrows. Maybe we'll talk to him even in February. We did. Yeah, we did. That's right. We'll take a break when we come back. Quick break here, 1 minute. Last preview, Kings Suns tonight. We got some numbers for you there. And then Imran Palati, True Sports Cards. He has a show Saturdays 10 to 11 a.m. He'll be in studio with us. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Welcome to the President's Day sale, happening now at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Celebrate with us and get huge savings on our giant selection. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's Old One Report.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Before we get to Kings and Suns, this happened while the show was going on. Jenny Kavnar, is the new primary play-by-play voice for the Oakland A's. Congratulations to her. She is now, I believe, the first primary play-by-play voice in Major League Baseball.
Oh, is that right?
I read that. I didn't do the research myself.
I know there are other females, but maybe as they've defined as primary. Okay.
Yeah. So good for her. Makes me wonder. I don't pretend to know the staff perfectly, but we had our guy Johnny Doskow in there and doing backup, and then you've got Ken's primarily. Well, he switches back and forth. Doesn't he?
I think he's mainly radio. Maybe Vince did some TV.
Vince Castronio. Yeah, interesting. So congratulations to her. It's like congratulations to her also.
Yeah. It's a fantastic job to have, but boy, this is a tough year to get it.
We'll have to have her on. And I think the not that we should be giving her advice, but if I had to, it would be brush up on your interesting vignettes and stories.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have a lot of time to fill in the 8th inning. Well, once again, it's 11-1. A's managed 3 hits on the day. They scored because the other pitcher hit a batter 4 times in a row. And And that's where we're at. But congratulations.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good.
Great opportunity.
And the A's did something good, right? Again.
Yeah.
Or, I don't even know if it's the A's. It might be NBC Sports. Either way, whoever
That's true. There's probably a partnership there.
Probably. All right. Kings, Suns tonight, 7 o'clock, TNT. That's dynamite.
Everybody wanted national TV coverage. You got it.
Here you go. The first meeting, Golden One Center. No Durant, no Beal. 114-106 Sacramento.
Like the beam.
The beam was, in fact, lit that
yes.
night, Jason Ross.
Confirmed.
Second meeting, Golden One Center. 120-105. Good guys. Triple-double for Sabonis. All 5 starters in double figures for Sacramento. No Bradley Beal for the Suns.
Like the beam.
Dun, 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 like the beam.
Yeah.
Third meeting.
Yeah, let's not talk about this one.
I don't want to, but Kings led by 22 with 8:15 to play. They had a 99% win probability.
Wasn't it higher?
I think it was like 99.8.
Yeah.
I really do. It was the largest blown lead considering the time of the fourth quarter, 8:15. The largest. No team had blown a lead like that in 1,245 games. So, hey, we're in the record books. The Suns did have Beal, Durant, and Booker. Bottom line is this, Jason. You can list one of two ways. The Kings are 2-1 and should be 3-0 against the Suns. Or the Suns with Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal have never in their franchise history lost to the Kings.
I would say if we could take one game back from the Kings season, this might be my game.
Ooh, that's a great topic. As
much as it hurt, the game before was the Lillard bomb for him. That hurt. But this one was a game where they played beautifully and then just were awful for 8 minutes. Like, they were so good. Would have been a great win. I actually think it launched the Suns in a better direction too. So you'd already have the season series. You'd have one more win. You'd have one more game differential between you and the Suns. That's probably the one I think I would take back.
It's a really good topic. I don't disagree with you necessarily. I'm just trying to think. The Bucks one would certainly.
Yeah.
Then, would it be the Pistons? I don't even. It's kind of going the other way.
But it almost feels like, well, I suppose. I mean, it was embarrassing to lose, but maybe the other one would have been at the Warriors where Clay hit the
last second. But we got him back.
Yeah, but to give him another loss, get a win. But I think it's this one for me.
I think you're right. Well, when you factor in standings.
Yeah.
Or as we call them in Europe, tables.
That's what we call them.
Never get used to that one. Yeah. That's dumb. Hey, tonight's fixture, Kings Suns. Yeah, that's what they call them. There's not games.
Table.
Also, the away team is
the worst one, dude. Even though their way probably makes more sense, but yeah, the home team is first or on top on the box score, and then the away team's on the bottom. And also that crap where they put the day, though, today's date is 13/2/24. What is that crap?
I mean, the rest of the world does that, so.
But you know what? That's why they lost. Right there. Facts, Jack. When we come back, Imran Palati at True Sports Cards, his show every Saturday, 10 to 11. We're going to visit with him in studio. If you have card questions, feel free to call or text 800-920-1140, 916-339-1140. And we got crosstalk, celebrity birthdays, and more. We're right back after this.
The Sacramento Kings are in Phoenix tonight to battle the Suns.
Driving, hammer time, off the bounce, coming from the right angle, and look at the Kings fans jump to their feet.
Tip off at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different. What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss. Welcome to a brand new year filled with limitless possibilities at Kia of Vacaville. Prepare yourself for an extraordinary driving adventure as we present our impressive 2024 vehicle lineup. Step into the future with state-of-the-art technology, groundbreaking features, and the sleek design that has become synonymous with Kia. Immerse yourself in the dynamic performance of the all-new Kia Sportage, where captivating design meets exhilarating power. Experience the fuel efficiency of the Kia Niro, a hybrid marvel that extends your journey with every mile. Indulge in the sophistication of the Kia Telluride, seamlessly blending luxury and versatility. Don't overlook our eco-friendly Kia hybrid options, ideal for those who prioritize efficiency without sacrificing style. If you're in search of the EV9, Kia of Vacaville has it in stock or available for delivery. Visit Kia of Vacaville today and cruise into 2024 with confidence and style. Kia of Vacaville, where innovation meets the road. Elevate your drive, elevate your year. Model availability and features may vary. Please see the dealership for details.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake.
Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Every Saturday, 10 to 11 a.m., right here on Sactown Sports, True Sports Cards, owner Imran Pilati in studio doing a show.
We'll get that name right.
What'd I say? Imran Pilati.
Emran Pilati. Emran.
You know, I know that.
I-M-R-A-N, spelled pronounced
I know
E-M-R-I-N. That's all right. Look, with a name like
Pilati.
I had choices as an infant. That was not one of them. So my dad went with something else.
I was going to say,
I told him.
You had choices? Wow. Well, see, because it's an I.
Trust me.
Right? Should be an E.
Correct.
Can we work on that?
Chris, can you take care of that for me?
Change the logos? That's a sports card business.
Could have been a lot better on Monday. I'll tell you that we were
locally?
Locally for sure.
The Niners won
for sure. I mean, we were all amped about it. I will tell you, yesterday I was working at the shop and it was a ghost town.
Yeah,
there's a significant depression that was happening within the industry. I mean, the entire 2022 product that came out was basically a Purdy based product. I mean, you had Pickett, you had Sauce Gardner and people like that, but who really cares? It was all about Purdy. So, the hopes and dreams of collectors that locally that were holding Purdy cards.
Yeah.
They were hoping. I did some numbers here. So before the game started, a PSA 10 Purdy Prism card was going for $171.
Okay.
After the game, one sold today this morning for $110, a 36% drop.
So if we're looking, I think of this like the stock market.
It's exactly what the stocks are. I'd rather play this in the stock market because Apple can't drop 40 on a Tuesday night.
That's a good point,
right?
But Purdy has not come out with a Vision Pro in years. When you look at something like that, though, I see value.
For sure.
Is that the right way to think? Like it's down, but that sounds to me like there's value on Purdy right now.
Let's go the other side. The answer is yes, Dave, 100%. The other side, Prism, Mahomes, 2017, pre-game went for $37.25, as in $3,725. Post-game, today, one sold for $4,286, a 15% increase. So you really are playing that. So there's ways to think about it. You mentioned like stock. Brady, mutual funds.
Right.
He's a slow burn. Yeah. Nothing's going to happen. I think Mahomes has now moved into that category. He is now a mutual fund. He is GOAT level status that we're looking at right now. And Purdy, I mean, he's just too young, too early.
Right.
But that's okay. I'd rather have him on the come up than on the come down. Ask me about Russell Wilson prices.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
In basketball right now, would Wembanyama be the target for everybody?
Absolutely. It's kind of a weird situation. One thing that people may not know is that Fanatics, the monstrosity company, has now come into the sports card game. And what they've done is they've kind of hamstrung the other company, which is Panini, by signing exclusive agreements with players like Victor Wembanyama. And so Victor cannot have autographed items in Panini products because they've withheld them. They've done that with CJ Stroud. They've done that with multiple players. So it's hurting the Panini products because Panini has the licensing to do NFL and NBA in their jerseys. Fanatics does not, but they will in 2 years. So if they're taking away all the opportunities of the autographed items out of Panini's hands, it's basically choking out your competition.
I have a question. It's kind of a morbid one, but I'll ask it anyways. How much of an effect does death have on signed memorabilia?
Great question, and it's one that I get all the time. And the reason why that's such a weird but yet important question in memorabilia is because those that are in this game understand that death creates the value. It's very sad. I can remember in January of 2020, I was going to a poker tournament, a charity poker tournament, and my eBay started blowing up. Bing, 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 bing.
Yeah.
You can imagine what that was. It was all my Kobe autographs that were just going crazy purchasing. So it's a sad fact, but it is a fact. However, players, it really determines what they've done leading up until then, as far as signing or doing those kinds of things. So yeah, it is morbid, but it is a fact, and it is what it is.
So obviously when an athlete, and again, everyone, we're not being flippant here, but we're talking as if these were stocks. We understand they're human beings, but when a player passes, the obvious thing there is that there is no more new inventory coming that is signed unless it's already been done, but that's now cut off. But you're saying that in addition to any jump you might get there with time, also, for example, there's a difference between when a guy passes who signed everything, when Pete Rose passes versus a guy like Bill Russell when he passed, and there's a very limited amount of autographs. I would imagine it's supply and demand along with that.
It's very interesting that you give those examples because Bill Russell had a contract with a guy in Florida who he is both him and Bill Russell have both passed, and Bill signed a lot.
Really?
At the end of his life.
Oh, okay. Really? I didn't know that.
And they stocked it in the warehouse. The guy was signing. I remember going to a signing and seeing Bill Russell signing, and he was there. I arrived at 10 a.m. He was signing. I left at 4 p.m. and the guy was still signing. I saw him fall asleep multiple times during that. I'm giving you some inside baseball here, but what I'm saying to you is what you believe might be limited isn't the case in a lot of cases.
Interesting.
So I know that there's a warehouse full of Bill Russell inventory out there. That's why I don't take as much stock into Bill Russell, because I know that at some point it's going to hit the market. I did the last signing with 3 different players. I have a terrible nickname. Sometimes people call me the Grim Reaper. It's not the case. Right. I've worked with plenty of people that don't pass away, but I did the last Elgin Baylor signing. I did the last White Tittle signing. Okay. I was the one that put those signings together, but that was the end of life. It's not like there was a tragedy.
It wasn't a Kobe.
Right. It wasn't a Kobe.
Yeah.
So with Elgin Baylor, it was him and Jerry West in the same room. First time that they'd ever signed anything in 30 years. I put the thing together and I had him sign probably 1,100 items over the course of 3 days.
Wow.
So when you look at something like that, what does that turn into? Well, how does that hit the market?
Yeah.
And so what I've done is I've made sure to maintain the integrity of the price point by making sure that it's sold at a correct value instead of just wholesaling it out and trying to make my money back. That's when you start to see a deflation of value. Yeah.
And speaking of a sign, don't you have a big one coming up in May?
Yeah, I do. So we got a couple of things that are happening. I'm glad to announce it. Appreciate you, Jason, for throwing me the alley-oop. First thing first, we are expanding into the Roseville Galleria. We're expanding to a second store. It's going to be located at the American Visions Gallery. We're taking that over March 1st. If you like Funko Pops, I now inherited 40,000 of them. Oh. So we're in the middle of doing inventory right now. There might be a Carmichael Dave Pop. We'll look. And then the big event that we do every year.
Signing for you though, bro. How was your reputation?
Well, you know, I don't know how many jumping jacks you do, but I'm going to guess that you're a little closer to it than I thought. And then May 17th through 19th, we have the Sacramento Autograph Expo that's going to be held at the Roseville grounds. I have 5 guests that I'm announcing, including one exclusive one I'm telling you right now. Nobody else knows about this until right now. The 4 that I could tell you that were confirmed were Vlad Guerrero Sr., Ricky Henderson, Dennis Rodman the Worm, Johnny Manziel. They're all going to be at this event.
Get out of here.
No, for real.
That's awesome.
And the one that I'm announcing right now that nobody knows about, breaking news on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Randy Johnson will be there.
Let's go.
Yeah, we have Randy Johnson.
Oh, that's cool. The photographer.
Yeah. And the cool thing about it with Randy Johnson was not a lot of people know this. He won his 300th game as a Giant.
Yeah, that's right.
So we got a lot of Giants opportunities.
Now, is Randy going to be signing could I bring something in for him to sign? Or is
that's the hope? Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to meet him. You're going to pay for the autograph.
You know what I'm going to ask?
Will he sign something about a dead bird?
Will he sign the dead bird picture? Do we know that? Do we know if he will or won't?
You know what? Here's what I know. We'll have a videographer there. I really want you to go and do that.
Well, I don't
and just see what happens. He goes, yeah, let me show you. Why don't you hold the bird while I throw this pitch at you?
All right, last question, because I'm fascinated by this, and I know we're out of time, but let's not go. I don't want obviously make it be specific with an athlete, but let's just say Joe Smith, no, that's an athlete.
I had Joe Smith at my event last year.
John, blah, 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 blah. He ex-athlete, and you're setting one of these up. Okay, so I'm guessing, number one, there's either a flat fee or a fee per and all that. I'm more interested in the, like, do you fly them out? Do you put them up? Do you drive them to, how involved in the outside of the signing part are you?
Daddy does it all.
Yeah. That's what I figured.
I have to book the flights. I have to book the.
Some guys want first class and some guys are cool with economy. You got to feel that out.
I represent 3 athletes exclusively: Artis Gilmore, Dan Issel, and Alex English. Those are my guys. I represent them. I work with other athletes like John Taylor, etc. But I can't put Artis. Can I put Artis Gilmore at 7'2" in Southwest in the C section? No.
What about Muggsy Bogues though?
Well, Muggsy Bogues can sit in the overhead compartment.
Right, exactly.
So the point of it is, we handle all of it. And just a little inside, pull back the curtain real quick. Athletes have 2 choices per piece: pay me per signature, or pay me for the time. I'll sign as much as you want for the next hour.
What do they usually choose?
They choose piece.
Yeah, really.
And I prefer piece too. And the reason why is because
they run out of steam.
Oh, they just let me chat it up with you. And then next thing you know, I got 8 signatures in the last hour. And see you later. Yeah, that's not going to work for me.
So we'll go. I will say this: it was 3 years ago. A buddy of mine and I, we go down to this golf tournament every year down in the LA area. It's a celebrity golf tournament where you get paired up with a player, all that. We're playing a scramble. We're underneath the tree with our foursome plus our celebrity. I got a 7-iron. I absolutely shank it, and on my follow through, I because I'm so ticked, I just nonchalantly let go of the club. Right, and we've all done that before. I let go of the club at the wrong angle, and our celebrity player behind us, it got him right in the chest, and I turn around to see Alex English with his arms crossed, looking down at me, just shaking his head. So
and you call me the Grim Reaper.
I almost killed Alex English. Thank goodness I didn't. He'll remember that. Too,
I'll tell you. And before we go, Dave, I would love for you to be there at the event and broadcast or do something from there, because I think you with athletes might just be must see TV. Must listen to radio.
I could apologize to Alex in person next time he's up here too, and I think that's a good idea. That'd be fun to be out there.
I would love to have you there.
All right, that is Emron Pilati. Emron.
Well, it's like Emrin.
Well,
EMRIN. Emrin. Just like it's not spelled.
You know why I did that? Because of Enron. I think so.
I'm still in business.
You're still in business.
I'm still in business. We're thriving. Saturdays on. You got me flustered, man. I have a show on the station, 10 a.m. on Saturdays.
Yeah, on Saturdays. You talk cards. True sports cards. That part's right.
That part's right. You are pronouncing that correctly.
That's good stuff, man. You got a lot of good stuff coming up.
Thank you, Carmichael Dave.
Carmichael Dave, and just Ross.
Yes.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Take a break when we come back. Cross talk with Styles and Watkins.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
And a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown. CMC.
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Someone somewhere may have told you that you can't mark your ball with a tee. Well, Golf Monthly's Jeremy Elwood looked into that. Since 2019, the definition of a ball marker is an artificial object when used to mark the spot of a ball to be lifted, such as a tee, a coin, an object made to be a ball marker, or another small piece of equipment. Urban Myth says that sticking a tee in the green is testing the surface, and they're pretty sure there's a rule against that. But if you think about it, sticking a tee in the ground tells you no more or less than what you'd learn from fixing 1 or 2 pitch marks on the green before you putt, and we all know we're encouraged to do that. To be fair, there is more of a chance of being asked to move the tee if you use one instead of a flat marker, as there's more likelihood of a ball being stopped or deflected with the tee. Not illegal, just inconvenient. By the way, the definition says it must be an artificial object, so don't be tempted to use a leaf, a twig, or a stone, as that will cost you a penalty stroke. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense. It can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light, Garner Roofing, and Roseville Kitchen and Bath.
Get ready for an exciting drive in the 2024 Kia Forte GT line, now at Elk Grove Kia for just $19,988. Experience efficiency with an impressive 39 mpg, smooth rides with automatic transmission, and stay on track with a lane departure warning system for only $19,988. Enjoy modern conveniences with its huge 10.25-inch touchscreen with navigation and a rear camera, Bluetooth wireless technology, and the ease of push-button start for only $19,988. Or lease this incredible ride with no cash out of pocket for only $279 per month plus tax. You heard right. No money down and only $279 plus tax. Elk Grove Kia, where driving dreams come true. Visit us today in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovekia.com. Sale price $20,738. Dealer choice rebate $750. Net price $19,988. Month finance through Kia Finance 5 at this price 24 months with zero cash down residual of $63,950 based on 10K per year 20 cents a month over zero security deposit. Kia Tier 1 approval required. Expires 2/15/2024.
Elk Grove Kia.
Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than freshly baked and home-delivered crumble cookies.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Hey, gotta beat the deadline, see? Yeah, it's not that far off there.
Sorry, guys. A lot of deadlines.
Alan walks in, he's like, sorry, I'm late. I had to meet some deadlines. What deadline? You have to be in your chair at 10 a.m.
That's the deadline. I just had to hit him,
man. Real quick, I want to play. This is a visual. This is a visual game before we get to celebrity birthdays. I want to play a game of name how many things you can possibly name in this photo. And Alan, I want to use you.
Oh my gosh! I see hot links.
Yep.
Is that rib tips?
Yes.
Beans. That's either mac or potato salad.
It's mac, probably. It's very good.
Maybe you want to show that to Chris.
Yeah, no, I actually
he texts Chris. He texts Chris during our show. As we're trying to put out premium content, he's texting Chris.
So this is
during our show.
This is a picture of. I listened after my lunch. I was listening to you guys.
First time?
No, I've listened before. Absolutely.
Just asking.
Long time caller.
So, anyways, this is a picture from Jay Johnson.
Yeah.
The day after I brought it, he said, send me the address. You know what Jay does? He does the same thing he did with your guest. He goes and he gets it done. And he goes out there. Not only does he send me this, he says, hey, and I'm quoting here, meat was slamming, them ribs and sausages, chef's kiss, mac and cheese was good, beans wasn't a fan of. I prefer mine a little more barbecue sauce. Bread was good too, 9 out of 10. I need to get back there and taste a few of those meats. Also, price is super fair for barbecue. Normally, barbecue is expensive.
Ask Jay if he told us that he was going.
But I don't understand why that's valid.
I want a caravan.
Here's a question I have.
Yeah.
Have you reimbursed Jay yet?
I have not. You know
Great
why?
question.
I didn't tell him I was going to buy his meal. But you know what? I should. You know what? You know what? I will. I will text. You know what? What? You know what?
Oh
Just so
my
you don't think
God.
this is a thing.
Wow.
Hey, bro. Text me your.
Did you say bro or bruh?
BRUH, but I pronounce it bro.
Wait. You can't do it BRUH and pronounce it bruh.
That's the French.
Everyone's reading it. Everyone's reading it, bruh.
Text me your Venmo and let me take care of your meal for being such a good friend. Send proof right there.
Love Dave.
I will say that. You know
With
what?
love.
Kind of seems a bit like hostagey.
With love and respect.
You know he's going to text. Did Verlad get a hold of your
that's
phone?
what I'm saying. Like,
Anyways,
just out of the blue.
Yeah. Jay Johnson.
Looks great.
It looked
I mean,
great.
I'm just
Sounded
wearing
good.
it. I don't know. I've already worn it.
You know, it's okay.
I've already worn it.
Hey, well, you
Looks
know what?
good on you.
Well, we'll be in person for New Orleans, so be like,
Great.
hey guys, you want to go to this thing? Oh, I'm gonna go to my room. Whatever. Hey, you want to go to the gumbo shop?
I haven't made any excuses.
No, and I appreciate
Not a one.
that. I'm done. I'm probably done.
Are
After
you?
today, just so you-
Probably.
No, definitely not.
Just another
Like,
week's worth.
It's you know,
Today's National Cheddar Day. That's why.
Cheddar?
Cheddar.
I just had some cheddar for Super Bowl. Cheddar's great. Just sharp. The sharper, the better. Right?
Just like just some cheddar, or was it on something? Or did you just
some
have like-
pretzels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just love it sharp.
Sharp cheddar's the best. Favorite cheese? Sharp cheddar?
Cheddar.
Is it, Jason?
Pepper Jack.
I think I'm gonna go pepper jack.
Pepper Jack.
Oh, no, what I've found recently, Ghost Pepper Jack.
Yeah,
Ghost pepper jack.
pretty solid.
I'm gonna go with brie. Sorry.
Oh,
Brie.
yeah, I'm not a big
I'm okay
fan.
with blue cheese.
Blue
but it's
cheese,
gotta be
yeah.
on
I
the
just don't really love melted cheese. You know,
Really?
I like it to have some integrity.
Like nachos?
With mac and cheese.
I like nacho cheese.
But mac and cheese.
I like mac and
That's
cheese.
melted.
Well, other than that, though.
But it's got to be a nice creamy mac, not
Right.
too stringy.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't like stringy cheese, except for string cheese, and I don't like the cheese where like it ends up like a ball of cheese in your mouth, like but it's cooked. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's just like cheese gum.
Oh,
yeah, I don't like that at all.
Stop.
And finally, today is not finally. It's Fat Tuesday.
It is.
Is it already?
Yeah. Lent tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right.
Celebrating all year.
What are you giving up?
Can't say.
Oh,
Can you not?
That thing you can't say. I don't know the rules. And it is National Pancake Day, gentlemen. Pancake waffles.
It's
French.
National Pancake Day?
That's what it says.
I think that really creeped up on us.
Is it possible to turn off his mic?
I can't hate the player. I have to hate the game.
You can though.
I am not a fan of the player. Let me tell you.
Celebrity birthdays. Hey, what did I say about him earlier? I said you were an enigma, and I really liked you, but you're also you're like an old man trapped in a young man's body.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
That wasn't an insult.
Alan can tell you. You said, I was in the hotel room at 9 p.m. every day.
Same with me.
Same with time of his life.
Yeah,
I was hoteling.
Yeah.
Excalibur,
That's a good roommate.
Beautiful hotel.
And you were.
If I'm staying at the Excalibur, I want to spend all my time there.
Oh, that's right.
It's hard to leave. They make it hard to leave. After the door doesn't work.
And what time were you generally getting up to work out?
I mean, it really wasn't too bad. I think I woke up at 6. Yeah.
Ooh, 6 a.m. Did you work out though? If I didn't see
Only
anything
once.
posted,
Only once.
Yeah, I didn't see any.
I did actually post on the gram.
Oh, you did?
Not on X, only the gram.
Celebrity birthdays. Birthdays meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing says birthday is better than crumble cookies.
All set up.
Happy birthday, Randy
Johnson. Jackson.
Newman.
Macho Man Savage.
Randy.
A Rosarena.
Orton.
Or as Kyle would say, a Rosarena.
from your team. Your team.
Randy Moss.
I just really wanted him.
Yeah.
A Rosarena.
No, you rolled them R's.
So true. And the thing is, I hate overpronouncing. Like, if it's your language and you're doing it justice, God bless you. But if you're like just, and he
What are
does,
you trying to
too.
say? What, you don't think that's just off the tongue?
I don't like where this is going. Randy is. I am not a Raider. I am not a Raider. Have you seen that one?
No.
Yeah, he's getting mad at somebody. He's like, Randy, you Raider. And he's like, I am not a Raider. And he's yelling at the fans.
Was it Boomer and Gio, though, that booked Randy Moss, but it ended up being a bookie and not Randy Moss?
That was
the
horse track.
The horse track.
Like
Yeah,
the
right,
race
it wasn't actually
announcer,
Randy Moss.
There's an NFL Network guy named Randy Moss as well.
Oh,
Yeah, he's like a bald dude.
Randy Moss is, let's see here. I'm going to say he's 47.
Did you guys know he played high school basketball with Jason Williams?
No.
Yeah.
No,
Hey,
he did not.
Other fun fact: LeBron
Sorry.
James had his first game in Sacramento.
What?
Shut the front door.
Yeah.
Prove it.
Also, did you know Mike Goldberg, the wrestler, used to play for the Surge?
Mike Goldberg?
We interviewed Mike Golick.
Oh, no, that's the UFC guy.
I think Bill Goldberg played for the
He does
Surge.
love Jimmy Lou.
Yeah. I'll say Randy is 44.
47.
48.
Two 47s and a 48 and a 44. We have a correct answer. The 247.
I said it first.
Good job.
Randy Moss.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Mousakis.
Golick.
Mike Peplowski.
Wizowski.
Mike
Goldberg.
You guys are close with the ski.
Mike.
But if I say happy birthday,
Krzyzewski.
Coach. Yeah.
Mike
Krzyzewski.
Krzyzewski.
K-R-Y-Z-Z.
How would you swag that one up?
Krzyzewski.
There's no. It is K-R-Y, though. I know that.
Krzyzewski.
Or is it K-R-Z?
KRS-One. That was, who was that? The rapper.
KRS-One.
KRS-One. Told you. Who?
Coach K.
Coach K is 76.
That's close. I think he's 77.
That's close. I think he's
Say 75.
75.
He's 78.
Oh, we're all over the board. We have a correct answer. It is Carmichael Dave.
Oh.
77.
Yes! Love
Could
you,
you
Dad.
imagine being yelled at by Coach K?
No.
How's it going? Like, you need to
Oh
Is that what
no!
it sounds like?
You hear stories about him like
Oh, no,
yelling
yeah,
at
not
kids,
a-
just like,
yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah.
By the way, 30 years ago today, you guys might not remember, was when John Calipari and Coach Cheney went at it, dude. Where is he? Oh my God, where is he?
Yeah.
Next time I see you, I'm gonna kick your ass.
No, the crazy one is like, I'm gonna kill you.
Right, yes, he did. I forgot about that.
Happy
Yes, he
birthday,
did.
Jaden.
Ivy Smith.
Correct.
Mm.
Jaden Ivey.
They died.
Oof.
Some say the King should have drafted him.
Jaden is 21 today.
That young?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
22.
Yeah.
That young?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
22.
No.
20.
And a 20 and a 21. We have a correct answer. It's
Thank
the
you.
22.
Chris,
Thank
leave me
you.
alone.
Thank you guys.
I want my own victory.
Yeah, there we go.
That's it.
There
we go.
That would be the best day.
Come on.
Okay, let's see. Happy birthday, Akib.
Talib.
Correct.
Give me that chain.
Akeem Talib
do that one.
Yeah.
is
36.
God, that's pretty good.
I'll say 38.
No, say 36.
Oh.
No,
I'll say
36.
36.
No, 38.
Two 36s and 37 and 38. We have a correct answer. It is 38. Chris
Oh
Watt.
my gosh.
Come on.
You good?
It's funny because it's just so true.
So true. I can't wait for baseball season.
Yes.
I can't. We had our first conversation about baseball. What are we going to do for baseball, guys?
Well, Jorge Soler is coming to the Bay.
Wow, we might get 83 wins.
36 dingers
Woo!
coming to the Bay.
All right, let me guess. Kings Super Bowl postmortem.
Yes, Kings, and we also are asking the question because it's going around. How many QBs do you think in that same situation would have won on the Niners?
One, Patrick Mahomes. There's your segment. Can I give you guys some content? I know we gotta go.
Yeah,
we did this earlier. What Sacramento King from the past would you put on this team that you think would increase net wins the most? That's the key. Can't just be like Chris Webber. No, it has to be like what past King,
and maybe it is Chris Webber,
and maybe it is,
but
would literally fit in the best. There's your second hour. We'll be gone till tomorrow.
Randy Rosa
for everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sactown Sports.
Oh, my.